The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Vitrano.
And it appears the High Court has struck down the president's unilateral issuing of tariffs.
Erik Bilstad.
The Assembly did pass a bipartisan bill to legalize online sports betting in the state.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
Bound 94, right about at Moreland, we've got an accident off on the left shoulder, so watch out for that.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
Staples has hot deals and low prices on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests. Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
It's starting to feel a lot like springtime.
Off and running, huh?
We are off and running.
Bye-bye baseball. William Contreras admire him at the wall. It's gone!
Brewers baseball is back. It's a Cactus League matchup between the Brewers and the Giants. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 2. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
6 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Wednesday, February 25th, our top story. A local leader maintains his innocence.
I'm Erik Bilstad. The fire departments become one.
I'm Debbie Lozica. Looking pretty good on the roads. No major delays around the area and no incidents either. Even the road conditions are behaving. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today, mostly sunny and breezy. High of just 29 degrees. Mainly clear skies overnight. We'll drop our lows to 17. Milwaukee right now at 28. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a WTMJ exclusive, Wisconsin Center District President and CEO Marty Brooks maintaining his innocence. He was accused of sexual assault. In his first public comments since the allegations,
I have nothing to hide.
Brooks said the allegations levied against him by Milwaukee Common Council President Jose Perez have taken an emotional toll on himself and his family.
Imagine sitting in front of your two daughters' wife just prior to Thanksgiving and saying, hey, I got to have a family meeting.
No charges were ever filed against Brooks. His comments came amid a larger discussion about a study recommending a convention center hotel be built in downtown Milwaukee. Brooks tells WTMJ any allegations he knew the results of the study beforehand are false.
My objective was to get information to present to the board so we could look towards the future, period.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Wauwatosa and West Dallas have agreed to merge their fire departments. Both common councils have proven a 10-year contract to combine the resources. Tuesday night, fire officials from both cities say no cuts are expected. Service will start in April. A study last year found the merger would save both cities around $7 million.
a newly filed lawsuit alleges the Wisconsin state legislature is failing to adequately fund the state's public schools. Republican legislative leaders Robin Voss and Devin Lemieux are listed as defendants in the lawsuit, along with the state budget writing committee, which includes Democratic gubernatorial candidate Kelda Roys. Now, the lawsuit alleges the state is violating the Wisconsin Constitution's requirement that all children be provided an equal opportunity for a sound, basic, and uniform education. It comes as a record high 241 referendum questions were put before voters for approval to fund schools in 2024.
A Milwaukee police officer accused of misusing department technology now faces charges. Hasu Ayala faces one count of attempted misconduct in public office. A criminal complaint says he's accused of using the department's Flock Technology license plate tracking system to check on the whereabouts of two people for personal reasons.
President Trump's State of the Union address focused largely on domestic issues, some foreign policy in there as well.
With just 4 of the 9 members of the U.S. Supreme Court sitting in the front row of the House chamber, President Trump decried the court's ruling that invalidated most of his tariffs.
Very unfortunate ruling.
But the president vowed to continue tariffs through different statutes.
Because we finally have a president who puts America first.
Trump also said he will not back down on his military threat against Iran.
I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon.
While also saying his preference would be to solve the problem through diplomacy. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The U.S. is building up military assets in the Middle East.
The U.S. Air Force has deployed stealth fighters to Israel, according to a senior U.S. official, marking a significant show of force as tensions rise in the region for a possible strike on Iran. Now, about a dozen F-22 Raptors arrived after departing the U.K., making that long flight to the Middle East with mid-air refueling support. The fighter jets reportedly flew without active transponders, signaling low visibility movement of high-end U.S. military assets.
ABC's Nicole D'Antonio. More talks between the U.S. and Iran are set for Thursday.
15 states are suing the Trump administration amid recent changes to the childhood vaccine schedule. Reduced the number of universally recommended vaccines from 17 to 11. ABC's Chuck Sievertson.
The suit names Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Department of Health and Human Services, and the Centers for Disease Control and its director. There was no new data to support the change, and it was met with widespread criticism from the medical community. The new vaccine schedule is unsupported by science, was made without deliberation or public input, and is unlawful, says a news release from California Governor Gavin Newsom, whose state is one of those suing.
No comment yet from the Department of Health and Human Services.
Coming up, changes to a popular festival.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:05.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
130 years of trusted community banking. Greg Matzik here reminding you since 1896, Horicon Bank has been proud to stand beside their neighbors. And in 2026, Horicon Bank is celebrating this milestone with a full year of special events and monthly celebrations across all of their Wisconsin branches. All this week, join them at their New Berlin location on Cleveland Avenue for gift card giveaways and raffle prizes. Visit horiconbank.com or follow them on social media. Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. As the days get longer and Wisconsin weather shifts, it's a good time to check your home's comfort. If your house felt drafty this winter, it may be time for an upgrade. Hometown offers energy-efficient windows and doors from Bella, Marvin, Anderson, and more. All on display in their New Berlin showroom, all installed by Hometown employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, or Fibrex, they have options for every budget. Call my friends today at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
Experience the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club's Friday All You Care to Eat Lenten Fish Fry, one of the best. It's delicious. The magnificent Sunday brunch is All You Care to Eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Google, call, reserve today. The Fox and Hounds.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
A big bounce back for the Bucks. Sports at 6:15.
Removing one possible burden to Milwaukee landlords retrofitting sprinklers in their apartment buildings. A measure introduced by Alderman Peter Bergelis would waive city fees for installing a sprinkler system in buildings that currently aren't legally required to have one. These are the ones that are grandfathered in. But Waterworks Superintendent Patrick Pauly says there are other costs to the installation process that can't be waived.
Our cost would be the water service permit costs, and they are typically established through our tariff with the Wisconsin Public Service Commission. We typically do not have the authority to waive water service permit fees.
The ordinance comes after a fire killed 5 people on Mother's Day back in 2025 at the Highland Court Apartments, which was not equipped with sprinklers.
Harley-Davidson ending its annual Homecoming Festival in Milwaukee. Since 2023, the 4-day event has featured concerts and other activities in and around Veterans Park. Harley will instead return to milestone anniversary celebrations every 5 years. Meanwhile, the company renewing its multi-year partnership with Summerfest, which includes July 4th fireworks celebrating America's 250th birthday.
The Green Bay Packers are continuing their non-renewal exercise. It's a policy of declining the renewal of season tickets for account holders who repeatedly resell their tickets on the secondary market.
The team specifically targets season ticket holders who purchase tickets with the sole intent of reselling them.
We've got such a great experience at Lambeau Field and we do like hosting fans from other teams.
Public Affairs Director Aaron Popke, a guest on ESPN Wisconsin's Wilde and Tausch.
And Lambeau's a bucket list. Makes for great TV to have some fans from the other team there. We would love for that experience to continue, but everything we're doing here is just focusing on maintaining and building, increasing that home field advantage.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
So the Packers confirmed that less than 1% of season ticket holders lost their seats last year.
Coming up on 610 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Education changes everything. It opens doors, shapes futures, and builds the foundation for our children's success. At City Forward Collective, we're working to transform our city's schools and ensure every Milwaukee child receives the high-quality education they deserve. We've taken real steps forward, but our work is far from done. This giving season, we're asking you to join us. Together, we can secure a stronger future for our children and a stronger future for Milwaukee. To support our mission, visit cityforwardcollective.org/donate. That's cityforwardcollective.org/donate.
Half of American parents cannot afford diapers. Hi, this is WTMJ's Kristen Bry. This spring, WTMJ and the Milwaukee Diaper Mission are teaming up to change that. Join me for WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies, where we will raise funds for Milwaukee Diaper Mission. Register to bowl with us on March 7th at Village Bowl in Menominee Falls. Registration is now open. Go to WTMJCares.com to sign up. Act quickly, teams will fill up fast. It's WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies to help the Milwaukee Diaper Mission.
Time saver traffic at 610.
At this point, looking pretty good across most of the system. We got a bunch of broken down vehicles, though, along 94 on the northbound side. One at Drexel off on the right, another one just north of Ryan Road, another one at Ryan Road, and then we've got one at 7 Mile Road. They're all out of traffic, though, so interesting. The rest of the system's still looking good. We're really moving along at a regular clip. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
From TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson with your Storm Team forecast. More sunshine out there for our Wednesday and breezy as temperatures today top out in the upper 20s to near 30 degrees. We'll keep the skies clear tonight as lows fall back into the teens. A partly cloudy sky back overhead for our Thursday. Very slim chance for a couple of flurries farther northwest of Milwaukee, really towards West Bend and even into central Wisconsin. We'll look for high temperatures tomorrow to top out in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees.
Milwaukee at 28.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
Coming up at 6:12 on this Wednesday morning. If you listen to the show regularly, you know one of our favorite things to do here on Wisconsin's Morning News is to tell you what's coming up and to help you set the agenda for the day. Watch for this story, watch for that story. But then that leaves us on the following day with some loose ends. So we create an agenda item on the program called Unfinished Business.
This is really all about agendas.
Unfinished business is the topic.
Unfinished business is created in any one of three ways.
So some of the unfinished business includes a decision on merging fire departments in the western suburbs and whether or not to have metal detectors in school in a southern suburb. But that unfinished business is now finished this morning.
Correct. In Kenosha, Unified School District Board voting on a policy that would bring walk-through metal detectors to all 6 of the high schools. So the district's going to spend more than $450,000 on, on 18 walk-through metal detectors. Also going to get a bunch of wands. And that money would come directly from the district's general fund reserves. So looking to see when this will be implemented, but this would be during school hours and then some of the other at-large off hours. So think basketball games, sporting events, things like that.
And some districts do that at big events,
right,
but not on a day-to-day for attending school.
So they will move forward on this. It would appear that there's even some talk. They might even go back to this safety committee that was established to look at, okay, do we want to do this at the middle schools as well? But right now it's just for the 6 high schools.
Leaving as unfinished business, I don't think they picked a name, but both West Allis and Wauwatosa, their common councils, did agree to move forward on an agreement that would merge their fire departments. Looks like that'll be phased in over a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, April's the start.
The start of
yes.
the phasing in, because that's no small thing either.
That's
Who
a big
answers
deal.
what call? Where do the calls go? All of those things. Those things have all been mapped out, and it's why when we first started talking about it months ago, it took this long to get to the crossing of the T's and dotting the I's.
But eventually you need a new logo. You need new shirts. You need new symbols on the hats and on the coats and on the trucks, right?
Erik continues to push this question of, like, how creative is it? Are we going to? I'm telling you, you're going to be disappointed.
So you say it's going to be like West Suburban Fire Department.
West Suburban Fire, or just Suburban Fire.
And I think Wauwatosa.
Right, which would be fun. Or even have a blue ribbon commission to go ahead and study it. I want a name and a logo and all that stuff.
It's funny
Tax dollars hard at work.
Yeah, but that's a great point, Debbie, because that's what I was just thinking. You say that like, oh, yeah, well, they're going to have a task force. Someone's going to have to make a decision, and then money will have to be spent to create that new look that would be on all the trucks, right?
Yes, and the shirts and the stuff and the merch.
And which is fine.
Yes.
Like, I might even buy one of those shirts, depending on the name.
Not for West Suburban, you wouldn't.
This concludes unfinished business. In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus is led by the Spirit into the desert to prepare for his ministry. This Lent, how will we allow ourselves to be led? How will we use these weeks to let God transform our hearts and our lives? This is Archbishop Jeffrey Grob. When Easter arrives, may we find ourselves renewed, strengthened, and changed. God always takes the first step. This Lent, how will we respond? Join us at Mass, and let's walk this journey together.
Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. You know, the last 3 times that I visited with my docs at OAW, we worked out solutions to my various injuries without surgery. Still stay pretty active. Golf, tennis, pickleball are my sports. Lots of starting and stopping in those sports, cranking on the back, the neck, my knees, and from time to time, like a lot of you, I get hurt. So what I want first is to get back out there playing my sports as soon as possible. Same things probably for the young athletes in your house. OAW understands you don't want to come in and have the doctor signing you up for surgery that day. And like I said, the surgeons at OAW spend most of their time working on non-surgical solutions to your pain. So maybe it's exercises, physical therapy, anti-inflammatory meds. Those have all helped me recover from injury. I did have a knee procedure years ago, but only after reviewing all of the available options. Honest doctors, nurses, and therapists committed to your health. Get started online now at orthowisconsin.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Now that is a nice little comeback for your Milwaukee Bucks. Down by 9 to the Heat in the fourth quarter, but they make a run led by Kevin Porter Jr.
Now here's Kevin Porter Jr. Wiggles free in the corner, hits the 3 and draws the foul.
He checked his feet real quick, Justin, to make sure he was behind the line before he fired the 3. And then he was just run over after he hit the triple.
4-point play late in the game. Justin Garcia, Gabe Neitzel with the call at 5 serve. Dave Kane out on Tuesday night. Kevin Porter Jr. tied a season high, 32 points as the Bucks win 128-117. Doc?
Yeah, he's been great. He knows when to attack now. You know, we always say he knows when to go to in scoot. You know what I mean by that? Or just go downhill and make plays. I thought putting all the shooting on the floor the last 3 minutes really opened the paint for us and allowed Ryan and Scoot to get downhill.
Bucks are on a nice little stretch here. They've won 7 of 9. Up next, the Cavs tonight at Fiserv, right here on WTMJ Radio. To baseball, you know, Vince finally now is going to smile this morning because the Brewers won a game. Hey,
Tell me it doesn't feel better. That's all I'm saying.
Tyler Black goes 3 for 3, a home run, 6 RBIs for the Canadian as the Brewers roll. They beat up on the A's 10-0. Up next, we got the game this afternoon, Brewers and Giants, right here on WTMJ.
NFL Combine continues today in Indianapolis. Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst took the podium, taking questions from reporters. Common refrain, got to get better finishing the job in games.
A number of our games the past couple of years, we've been up in the games and just not been able to close them out. And our group's got to get to that point, So I think we're on our way there. I really like the guys in our locker room, and I like the makeup of our team. But that's an area that we have to fix.
Kind of forgot about this, but the Packers do not have a first-round pick this year due to the Micah Parsons trade. So we will pick 52nd overall in the draft, which is coming up in April. And it's been almost a full year. You have to go back to March of 2025, but it happened. Finally, once again, Tuesday night. Come on. The Marquette Golden Eagles won a game on the road.
Yes.
Not counting neutral courts, MU hadn't beaten a team on their home court since March 1st when they beat Georgetown. As it turns out, they did it again in Washington, beat the Hoyas 76-60 for this season's first road victory. God be praised.
Hey, Wisconsin anglers, this Saturday head to MW Marine for a free fishing seminar. No reservation needed. Meet Warren Zarin from the Mercury Lund Pro Team and learn West Coast bass techniques that flat out work in Wisconsin. Pick up tips you can use right away. And while you're there, check out the boats and get ready for your best season yet. This Saturday at MW Marine. Free, fun, and you're invited.
You know you should be doing digital marketing, but you don't know how or even where to start. Vince Vitrano here for Margol Media, a local, full-service digital marketing firm that delivers measurable results for businesses of any size. With a deep understanding of the digital landscape, Shane and his team over at Margol, they will work with you to develop your digital strategy. What's more, Margol uses real-time data to guide that strategy and optimize performance. And since they're based right here in Milwaukee, you know you will have their full commitment and dedication. Margol works with some of the biggest consumer brands in the world and the most local of local small and medium-sized businesses. They can help any size business grow. Tell them Vinny sent you when you sign up for a free consultation at Margol Media. That's MARGLE media.com.
2026 Brewers tickets are on sale now. This year, it all kicks off at our house with opening day at home, followed up with a schedule that's absolutely loaded. Throw in the same flair for the dramatic thrills on any given night. Plus Brewers giveaways you won't forget. And you've got a season you're going to have to see to believe. Don't miss a second of Brewers action this year. The crew is back for more. All Brewers tickets for the 2026 season are on sale now at Brewers.com.
Hey, WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
That's a lie. I'm going to Potawatomi if I can get there.
Bill!
I got bit by one, and I liked it.
All right, maybe we do some bits.
I don't even know what that means.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
Time saver traffic. Debbie, what do you see?
I'm seeing a pretty good ride shaping up. We have one broken down vehicle southbound 41 at North Avenue off on the right shoulder. A couple more on 94 down near the county line. But overall, everything is out of traffic. Not seeing really anything major happening. Another one just popped up. It's a box truck stuck on northbound Rock Freeway at Layton off on the right shoulder as well. So just keep your eyes open. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny and breezy today with a high of 29 degrees. Tomorrow's high up to 39, but quiet weather right now at 28. The president remaining in Washington today following the longest State of the Union address on record. A moment of unity.
You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
President introducing Team USA Hockey. I told you it was going to be the whole team.
You're right.
That
You
was
were
my
right.
prediction. Not one or two guys coming off their dramatic win over Canada. Down to business this morning.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
Joined now live by ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers in Washington this morning. Karen, a lot to get to, but first, I was looking at the president's schedule for today. He's got policy meetings. He's sticking around the White House. Don't presidents often take the show on the road right off the State of the Union, right? They visit swing states or whatever?
They normally do. There's that traditional campaign travel within the next day or two to say, and I just announced X, Y, and Z proposals, and I am here in Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, all the, key states heading into an election season to tout those policy proposals, get in front of everyday Americans. He's not doing that today nor tomorrow or Friday. So, it's a different style for this president. We'll see if we see him today or if he stays behind closed doors. He is expected to, based on the schedule, not have any public events. In some ways, they kind of like to let that moment stand last night and let the clips play out all day and let that be the social media moments because the president carefully crafted a lot of those moments last night. It was the longest State of the Union address, and the message was, as you guys noted, that, there's winning going on right now. And to hear the president tell it, everything is great. He said the country is winning again. It's the golden age of America. Things are bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before. And the roaring economy is roaring like never before. But we have talked about this going into this speech, that polls are not indicating that Americans feel that same way. That, he's facing his highest disapproval rating so far since taking office for the second time. And when you drill down on some of the main key issues, Americans are not liking his policies and confident in what he's doing going forward. So he had a challenge last night of trying to make a sales pitch, but instead I think he didn't really make the sales pitch about new policy proposals. It's just, trust me, everything is great, and let's talk about all the winning that's going on. And here's a perfect example, the hockey team. I'm going to give out some medals. And he created these, pretty powerful video moments that will be playing all day.
Karen Travers is with us live from the White House, ABC News White House correspondent. He did have that showdown moment, Karen, to a degree that we talked about yesterday, maybe less dramatic than we had anticipated, but he did address the Supreme Court justices who were there for striking down many of his unilateral tariffs.
Yeah, he did. It was much less dramatic than I think people were anticipating. He was certainly face-to-face with two of the justices who had said that the sweeping tariffs were unconstitutional, Chief Justice John Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett, who he nominated to the Supreme Court. He shook their hands. This comes after days of launching personal attacks at them. But when he talked about the ruling, he said it was unfortunate. It was a very unfortunate ruling. He also said he's not going to Congress to try to move forward with his tariffs, that he's going to try a different authority and that congressional action isn't necessary. But as we've talked about, he does need Congress after 150 days or else these tariffs can't continue. So we'll see what happens in a couple of months.
And we did hear from the Democrats afterward, the Virginia governor talking affordability.
Yeah, that was a big part of Abigail Spanberger, the governor of Virginia's message, affordability, saying Democrats should be running on the economy. And she kind of boiled down her speech to a couple of key things. Is the president's agenda and policies, are they working for you? And went through and talked about what he's been doing on the economy. And, I think that's going to be a message we hear from Democrats over the next 8 months as we head into the midterm election season. She also was really tough on the immigration enforcement aspect of his policy agenda. He talked about that and defended those policies, notably did not specifically talk about Minneapolis, didn't mention Renee Good or Alex Preddy, the two Americans that were obviously killed in Minneapolis. And that was a moment where there was a lot of contentious back and forth with some of the Democrats in the audience there. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar yelling at him that he has killed Americans, and he yelled back that she should be ashamed of herself.
ABC's White House correspondent Karen Travers live with us with that wrap-up this morning. Thank you, Karen.
Have a great day.
We should point out that the president may not be on the road, but the vice president will be in Wisconsin tomorrow, western Wisconsin, Plover area. This is a hot congressional district. That's Derek Van Orden's seat, and he is up in a tight fight there in the re-election. So we'll see J.D. Vance in Wisconsin tomorrow.
News about your money this morning, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed about 370 points to 49,175. The NASDAQ was up more than 1% to 22,864. And the S&P 500 finished the day at 6890. That was up 52 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
If you're going to put some of your hard-earned profits into advertising, you better do it right, because we know you don't want to waste a dime. If you want ad success, it's not just knowing what to say, it's knowing how to say it. Telling isn't selling, and a message that doesn't sell will waste your money. With thousands of ads of experience, we know what to say and how to say it to get you better results. Go to Anderson-Smith.com's Our Work page to listen and see why we're the guys smart advertisers call to make their ad dollars work harder. We found that whatever kind of ad you decide to run, if it doesn't sell, it's a bad ad. One thing we're pretty good at is digging deep to find what truly sets our clients apart from their competition. And we're always surprised at what we find and have often asked, well, why haven't you been telling the public that? There are things about your business that you aren't telling enough people, and certainly not often enough. We'll fix that. Go to Anderson-Smith.com and hit the Contact Us button, because we help small business advertisers get better results.
With Pella, you get so much more than stunning windows and doors. You get the Pella experience. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. And with a 10-year labor warranty, your windows and doors are worry-free for years to come. If something goes wrong, we're here to handle it because you work with the same team from start to finish.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 48 months.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
Miss any part of the show? Get the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast sent directly to you. Text Vince to the WTMJ Talk and Text line.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump declaring the State of the Union is strong and touting what he calls a golden age for the country. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers watched the record-breaking speech that lasted 1 hour and 48 minutes.
A majority of Americans don't like what he's doing on all the key issues right now: inflation, tariffs, immigration, the economy. So his job last night was to go into that room. Obviously, he's talking to the lawmakers in front of him, but his job was to talk to people at home, to say, things are going well, and I'm working to make them better.
The president also promising Iran won't build a nuclear weapon. House Democrats now accusing the Justice Department of withholding dozens of pages of the Epstein files. They say they contain allegations against President Trump. 20-year-old who accuses social media networks of creating platforms that got her addicted, expected to take the stand today. This is ABC News.
We are looking at a pretty good ride right now. Westbound 94 is just a little bit tight heading right through the stadium interchange. Nothing major. A whole bunch of broken down vehicles all the way up and down 94. Not quite sure what's going on there, but they're all out of traffic. Shouldn't cause too much of a delay at all, so we should be in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, quiet weather, high of just 29 degrees today, but skies mostly sunny. Mainly clear overnight, we'll drop our lows to 17. Right now at 28. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, several Wisconsin school districts are suing the state legislature, alleging that it is failing to adequately fund public schools.
The lawsuit argues Wisconsin public schools are in a crisis. Jeff Mandel is the founder of Law Forward, the Madison-based firm who filed the suit Monday.
These folks are not magicians. We do not have what we need for our schools to thrive.
Well, Governor Tony Evers used veto powers in 2023 to ensure districts can increase per pupil spending annually for the next 400 years. Without increased funding from the state, districts are forced to raise property taxes. The new suit will likely end up before the state Supreme Court. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Vice President J.D. Vance will be in Wisconsin this week ahead of the midterms following the State of the Union. The VP will visit Plover, Wisconsin on Thursday and will tour a manufacturing facility there. That area is in Republican Congressman Derek Van Orden's district.
Police identified now the woman who was murdered in Elkhorn. She's 62 years old, name is Jody Marzello, was found dead in her home Saturday night. Two men were fighting when police arrived. 38-year-old Joseph Christman was arrested on charges of first-degree attempted homicide, aggravated battery, and intimidating a victim while using a dangerous weapon. The cause of Marcello's death is still under investigation.
Wisconsin Democrats are again introducing a bill to raise the state's minimum wage.
It would increase wages to $15 an hour, going up to $20 an hour by 2030. State Senator Kelda Roy says neighboring states have raised their wages, while Wisconsin's has remained at the federal level of $7.25.
How many Wisconsinites should have to choose between gas to get to their jobs and keeping the lights on? How many of our neighbors should work 65 or 70 hours a week across 3 jobs and still end up declaring bankruptcy because of medical debt?
In the past, Republicans have argued a minimum wage increase could hurt small businesses and lead to job losses. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Coming up, a Milwaukee show with 2 big stars postponed for tragic reasons. That story next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Traffic is sponsored by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Whatever the weather, visit WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. Another 2-man scramble tournament is underway at Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Play the legendary TPC Scottsdale on their spacious, state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now to win cash prizes. Must play in February.
This is former Wisconsin Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen with a message for my fellow conservatives about online sports betting. Online sports betting is fun. It protects kids against illegal gambling websites, and it generates billions in tax revenue. But today, Madison politicians are considering a secret deal that could give exclusive control of sports betting to one Indian tribe. One Indian tribe making the majority of all the revenue? Our Constitution requires a vote of the people on expanded sports betting, but Madison insiders want secrecy. What's worse, their plan could leave Governor Evers the sole power to negotiate with the tribes. Madison politicians want to bypass our state constitution, and it could mean less accountability with control concentrated with one Indian tribe. Tell Madison, no secret deal on online sports betting. Paid for by Sports Betting Alliance.
WTMJ throwing strikes for a cause. Would love to have you join us. It's Bowling for Babies, Saturday, March 7th. We'll be at Village Bowl in Menominee Falls. We're raising money for Milwaukee Diaper Mission. Love to have you put together a team of 4 and hit the lanes with us. Registration is $170 per team. All proceeds and fees will benefit Milwaukee Diaper Mission. Here's how you join us. Text the word baby to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620 to sign up. Bowling for Babies. Would love to have you bowl with us and help families in need.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game. In 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We see you out there coming up with original ideas, which is why you shop at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Because you know that when inspiration stirs, we'll have what you need at prices that help make it happen. During our big pet care event, save $3 on assorted Blaine's brand pet food. Rewards members save an extra $2. 25% off all dog and cat toys. Plus, get a free $15 Blaine's gift card when you buy a Seresto flea and tick collar for cats or dogs. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
Packers General Manager Brian Gutekunst at the NFL Combine, what he sees for year 2 in 2025's first-round draft pick. That's in sports at 6:45.
Happening today.
Get ready for a little music for your Wednesday evening. The Landmark Credit Union Live. This is the venue right there near Fiserv Forum, right? The brand new concert venue. It has its community preview night tonight. So all kinds of different stuff. They're going to have a little bit of pop, a little bit of dance, electronic, and have a little country.
They just want to invite people to come see the space.
See the space, hear some music, and see what it can be, if you will.
Speaking of shows, and this is a tough one. He scheduled Steve Martin and Martin Short show. That was going to be at Miller High Life Theater on Friday.
Yeah.
It's now postponed following a death in Martin Short's family. The Pabst Theater Group says tickets for the show will be honored at an eventual rescheduled date. They haven't yet said when that date will be, but multiple outlets are reporting that Short's eldest daughter, Catherine Hartley Short, has died at the age of just 42 years old. So a tragic death in the Martin Short family appears to be the reason that they've put off that show indefinitely.
Right.
And when you can go to the show, obviously of a concern if you had tickets, but you'll be notified when that happens. But very, very sad news involving Martin Short and his family. And that show for Friday is postponed. 6:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises, and staying ahead of the curve no matter what Congress throws your way. So before the Big Beautiful Bill takes a bite out of your hard-earned savings, let's make sure your plan is designed to help prepare for uncertainty. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. That's TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping build retirement confidence right here in Wisconsin.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Hurt on the job or worn down from years of hard work? Access Legal helps injured workers across Wisconsin recover the benefits you're entitled to. Contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation.
6:40, let's check the traffic here with Debbie.
The westbound side of 94 tightening up a bit more from 35th Street past Mitchell Boulevard. On the eastbound side, we've got some delays coming in from just east of 84th Street all the way past 68th. Overall, the rest of the system is still looking pretty good as far as any kind of delays or anything like that. You're not really going to run into any of that stuff. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
From TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson with your storm team forecast. More sunshine out there for our Wednesday and breezy as temperatures today top out in the upper 20s to near 30 degrees. We'll keep the skies clear tonight as lows fall back into the teens. A partly cloudy sky back overhead for our Thursday. Very slim chance for a couple of flurries farther northwest of Milwaukee, really towards West Bend and even into central Wisconsin. We'll look for high temperatures tomorrow to top out in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees.
Right now at 28, news brought to you by Access Legal. Worn down by work, contact Access Legal today.
Big goings on in downtown Milwaukee on Tuesday night. Big event held at the Bradley Symphony Center, home of the MSO, Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra.
These guys were amazing.
To kick off the community campaign for the United Performing Arts Fund, UPAF. So this group supports more than a dozen performing arts groups, making the city bigger, better, classier, more diversified. And this year's campaign, the community campaign, to raise funds for the arts, co-chaired by...
Please join me in welcoming Vince Vitrano to the stage.
Standing ovation.
It was not. Nor should it have been.
Actually, I thought you gave a great speech.
Oh, thank
But
you.
you didn't have a lot of time.
I stayed in my time. I did what I was told.
But I really appreciated what you said because you explained why the arts are so important beyond people just being interested in the arts and what it can do for a city. And I thought you explained that really well.
Corporate leaders don't just show them office space.
They show them a region with major universities, with strong neighborhoods.
You're talking about when you have corporate leaders bringing in new hires potentially, when you're bringing in new partners, people that are going to invest in the city, what they're going to see.
With great schools. They show them the lake. The lake is undefeated. Like, it's a beautiful spot. And they show them a city where you can see world-class dance on a Tuesday. You can see the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. On a weekend night, you can see a world premiere play on a Friday, world-class ballet and opera. The arts in Milwaukee are a magnet for our biggest and most important companies.
That's a great line. So whether or not you are interested in the jazz or the opera, know that makes the city look larger and more attractive when it comes to any type of corporate partnership.
Well, why do you think Baird, Northwestern Mutual, Milwaukee Tool, corporate giants headquartered here in Milwaukee, why did they put so much money and effort into this campaign? Because they need it to bring people here.
So I did talk to Anne Marie, who runs UPAF. I did ask her specifically about why you're the co-chair. All right, so one of your co-chairs is Vince Vitrano. Why'd you pick Vince?
Everyone knows Vince. If Vince points people to UPAF, people are going to follow Vince because they trust Vince, and he's just such an asset to this city.
So seriously, why'd you pick Vince? Okay, all right.
It's making me uncomfortable, too. Thank you, Eric. You're very generous.
I did talk to a former co-chair, a friend of yours, Tim, you introduced me to, and he had some nice things to say about you.
He's got stories, and I think that's Vince's strength, is just tell those stories. They resonate, they bring emotion out of people, and that also helps them bring out their pocketbooks, I think.
So I did ask him, though, any critique that we can give Vince? What can we get him better at when you're going through this campaign?
Last time I saw Vince might have been at a golf outing. I didn't see him golf. Maybe he's not a good golfer. I don't know. But for what I know, he could be a great golfer. So, sorry, you're not going to anything bad.
All right, that's not any good.
I saw Tim after. He's like, well, I talked to Eric, and I said, I know, he was digging for stuff. It's okay. He said you were too nice to use on the air.
Well, good luck on the community campaign. Just kicked it off, looking to raise $9.5 million for UPAF. So, no, you'll do great, buddy.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Athletes of all ages, when you're healthy, you play better, right? Well, get healthy with Dr. Alex Young and my team at Connect Chiropractic. Talking with Anna the other day. She's a college softball player, and since she started in regular care at Connect Chiropractic, her back, her knees, her shoulder, all feeling better. And Anna says there is no doubt she's playing better because of it. High school, college athletes, you're only that age once, right? You want to be the best you can be in your sport by having your body in top shape and conditioned to help prevent injury. For guys like me and a lot of us listening right now, we take our sports seriously too. Don't want to miss a match or a round, and I know Connect Chiro helps me stay in the game. In Delafield, Wauwatosa, and Oak Creek, go Connect Chiro. That's goconnectchiro.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Look at your Milwaukee Bucks staying hot.
Gonna watch the clock evaporate here as the Bucks close strong here. 39 fourth quarter points in the victory. A hard-fought, well-earned win over the Miami Heat.
Yes, sir, Justin Garcia. Kevin Porter Jr. tied a season high at 32 points in a 128-117 win over the Heat at Pfizer. The Bucks down 9 in the fourth quarter, but come back to win it, which is just a great
we
win.
haven't seen them do this season,
yes.
Right? Battle,
yes.
Come back.
And Coach Doc Rivers talked about that.
This is a big response for us. This is what we haven't done this year. We'll, get a nice stretch of games going, and then we'll lose, and then the next game we kind of give in again. And tonight there were stretches where we could have gave in, and we didn't. So I told him that after the game. I said that's a gut kind of win for us. It was a good win.
Absolutely. And by the way, just an aside there, I've known Justin Garcia, who's the Bucks Radio Network halftime pregame and all that. He does some of the color games. He's the color guy sometimes for Dave Kane. I've known him for 20-plus years. And to hear him on the call for the first time last night, that was great. I'm just, attaboy. He and Gabe doing the call, that was cool. They were in for Dave Kane last night. Up next, the Cavs tonight at Fiserv right here on WTMJ Radio.
No first-round pick for the Packers this year in the NFL Draft. We traded for Micah Parsons, of course. Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst at the NFL Combine says no regrets on that choice. Also touting the upside for his first-round pick in the 2025 draft, wide receiver Matthew Golden.
With all the opportunities that we gave him, I thought he did an excellent job. Would have loved to seen him get more opportunities through the year. It didn't work out that way, but when he did, he performed, and he performed at a high level. And really excited to see where he goes in year 2.
NFL Combine continues today in Indianapolis. In college basketball, and this hasn't happened yet this season until Tuesday night.
It's finally done. Marquette wins on the road and convincingly, and they did it without Royce Parham. Marquette over Georgetown at Georgetown by 16.
76-60 the final for the Golden Eagles, their first win on the road in this season.
All right.
Thanks for the pretzel, Coach.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Capital Heating and Cooling and Abby Hall. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for QC Kinetics. Raise your hand if you're excited about feeling older faster than you should, or if you notice that people who are older than you seem to act younger. Why is that? It's because they're not in joint pain. They're not dealing with their knee all the time or their back, and they likely were chatting with QC Kinetics about it, and that's what you should be doing. You should be calling QC Kinetics, talking to their medical professionals, and using regenerative treatments backed by real science, treatments that can help you heal yourself, and that way you're not dealing with a knife all the time. There's always some concern about going under, having surgery. You don't need it. 414-667-5559. That's the phone number. 414-667-5559. That's QC Kinetics' number. You call them and you can get a face-to-face. You can walk through the process. It's free. Get a consultation and learn if it'll work for you. That way you can feel your age or feel younger, because that's how you should feel. 414-667-5559. Call QC Kinetics today.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. As the days get longer and Wisconsin weather shifts, it's a good time to check your home's comfort. If your house felt drafty this winter, it may be time for an upgrade. Hometown offers energy-efficient windows and doors from Bella, Marvin, Anderson, and more. All on display in their New Berlin showroom, all installed by Hometown employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, or Fibrex, they have options for every budget. Call my friends today at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Time saver traffic, 651. Debbie, how's the drive?
We've got a crash westbound 94 right about at 35th Street. The left lane is blocked, so watch out for that. Delays obviously coming into that area from about 27th Street, and it kind of stays heavy all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. On the eastbound side, we got backups just before 84th Street heading to Hawley Road. Rest of the system is still looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast brought to you by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. High of 29 degrees today. Skies mostly sunny, low down to 17 overnight. Thursday up to 39 degrees for our high, and for Friday, mostly sunny and a high of 54. Milwaukee right now at 28. President and CEO of the Wisconsin Center District on the record.
I am sorry that this has been a distraction because our organization does great work.
Marty Brooks here on WTMJ, his first public comment since the aforementioned distraction. An accusation that he grabbed the butt of the president of the Milwaukee Common Council, Jose Perez. The real substance is, of course, the ongoing conversation about whether Milwaukee needs a convention center hotel and where that should go. And we'll cover that in a moment. But first, let's get through it. Wisconsin's Afternoon News, John Mercure asked Marty Brooks the question.
I need to get this out of the way right at the beginning and ask you this question because the community's talking about it.
It's been in the news. Did you grab Common Council President Jose Perez?
I did not do anything that I was alleged of doing.
And we need to point out that you have not been charged with anything. That is a fact.
That is correct.
What do you say to the people who don't believe you?
There was a thorough investigation done by the Milwaukee Police Department that went to the DA's office, who did not press charges. I have consistently said that I did not do anything in Jose Perez's presence. I maintain that position. I am focused on running the WCD and taking us even further into the future with great things ahead of us.
Brooks continues to deny any wrongdoing in the alleged fall encounter at a downtown restaurant. So asked and answered. Brooks on the record. Maybe you believe him, maybe you don't. That's his answer to the question. Can we move on?
Sure.
Okay, so let's get to the recently commissioned study that suggests for the newly expanded Baird Center to be fully successful, Milwaukee needs a 650-plus room hotel in close proximity.
The only conclusion that they made was that the market needs a convention center hotel. Period.
Brooks adamant that the study did not say, tear down the Miller High Life Theater, tear down the arena. He said those were options presented by the study, and the purpose was to talk about it, and that's what we're doing. So Wisconsin's Afternoon News went in-depth on the whole thing, spent more than an hour on it on Tuesday's show. Big detractor, if there's any conversation to be had about maybe tearing down the theater, is Gary Witt. Now, his outfit, Pep's Theater Group, books acts at Miller High Life Theater right now. So obviously he has skin in the game. He would like to continue doing that work and that business, but also doesn't think the hotel is necessary, not there or anywhere.
Unless you're hell-bent on soaking the taxpayers with $400 to $500 million to build a beautiful new hotel, and maybe you guys are, and TMJ thinks that you should possibly do that, or Marty does. But the reality is you could probably spend a third of that money and accomplish the exact same goal.
I don't know that WTMJ thinks anything about it. What we're trying to do is present to you these various ideas. But Witt's saying, like, first of all, never mind where to put it. We don't need it. He's suggesting that other successful places have built on existing hotels. He suggested, could we not add on more to the Hilton, make that a more viable or increased space, more rooms?
And there is something to be said for, if you do that, A, is it always going to be used during off days or off hours or off months? Or B, like, man, there's a lot of businesses that have been helping raise Milwaukee for a long time. And then, is it a little bit of a turn your back on some of them if you're like, oh, no, we're going to just put everyone in this hotel now?
I would suggest, right, if you're from out of town and you're coming to a convention and there's a hotel that's right next door and you're like, okay,
why wouldn't you go there?
Clearly, you're no fault of yours. You're going to pick that one. And I think your suggestion here is it might pull the rug out from under some other hotels that aren't right next to the convention center, but who are doing their part in adding the hotel rooms and the extra space that we need to host these larger conventions. If I were one of those hotels, I'd say, hey, what about us? So Brooks,
legitimate conversation.
Yes, and Brooks again stating the whole purpose of the study was to spur this conversation.
Looking for information so that I could present to the board, these are options. These are ways for us to grow our market and be better at what we're doing. There was no thumb on a scale. There was no predetermined conclusion. I knew the conclusion of the study when I received it days before it was shared with the board.
So a lot of conversations I've been having, as you have, Eric, with people in the know. I've heard people suggesting there's a push to get Marty Brooks out in short order. That's hearsay. It's third-hand stuff, but there's no question that's how I'm hearing some people in our community talk. Brooks says that's not his plan.
Will you still be leading the Wisconsin Center District 1 year from now?
I hope so. I have every intention to be.
He's doing his job. You could argue that that's what his job is, right? To spur conversation, if not execute an opportunity to make the Wisconsin Center District more successful.
All of these conversations, Wisconsin's Afternoon News in-depth on the allegations, the conversation about the hotel, the future of the Miller High Life Theater, and UWM Panther Arena. It's all up on our podcast page, wherever you get your podcasts, or at WTMJ.com. Business Journal Report is next. That's sponsored by the Alliance Smarter Networks, Serious Savings.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Harley-Davidson is returning as a Summerfest sponsor this year, 5 years after it took a break from the festival.
The motorcycle maker's major focus will be on the July 4th celebration of America's anniversary. One of the largest homes in River Hills is back on the market 3 years after it sold for $2.5 million. The sprawling riverfront mansion on 6.7 acres is being listed for $3.75 million. Tariffs have been a death sentence for some small and mid-sized companies. The head of the National Association of Manufacturers said while visiting Milwaukee this week. While larger companies were better positioned to absorb the hit from the tariffs, smaller players lack the necessary resources. I'm Timothy Gibbons with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Tired of watching your company's healthcare costs rise 8, 9, or even double-digit percentages every year? There's a better way with The Alliance. For more than 35 years, employers have turned to The Alliance to lower their healthcare costs, improve access to high-value care, and keep their employees healthy. With powerful data and insights, The Alliance gives self-funded employers the tools to make informed decisions that help bend the medical cost trend. And it's working. Employers of all sizes and industries are seeing measurable results, from fewer unnecessary procedures and lower out-of-pocket costs to shorter recovery times and more productive, engaged workforces. The Alliance's recent partnerships with major health systems in the Midwest are giving employees even more in-network options close to home, making care more convenient and more affordable. Because when employees get the right care at the right time, everyone benefits. The Alliance. Smarter networks, serious savings. Learn more at the-alliance.org.
Hey, Wisconsin anglers. This Saturday, head to MW Marine for a free fishing seminar. No reservation needed. Meet Warren Zarin from the Mercury Lund Pro Team and learn West Coast bass techniques that flat out work in Wisconsin. Pick up tips you can use right away. And while you're there, check out the boats and get ready for your best season yet. This Saturday at MW Marine. Free, fun, and you're invited.
Imagine unpacking once and waking up somewhere new every morning. That's river cruising with Avalon and Fox World Travel. From castles along the Rhine to cafes on the Danube, Avalon's spacious ships put Europe right outside your window. Slower travel, deeper connections, and unforgettable views. Ready to let Europe come to you? Press the easy button and let Fox World Travel plan it all for you. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO to book your storybook vacation today.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
If you can't handle the noise, just stay home.
Now here's Kevin Porter Jr. Wiggles free in the corner, hits the three and draws the foul.
The Bucks face off against the Cavaliers at Fiserv Forum.
Usman Chang rips another triple, and the Bucks have jumped back in front.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30
on the home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
Just after 7 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Wednesday, February 25th, our top story. Pleading innocence after sexual assault allegations.
I'm Erik Bilstad. 2 fire departments will soon become 1.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We do still have an accident westbound 94 at 35th Street. The left lane is blocked, so watch out for the backups through that area. Stays heavy all the way through the stadium interchange to Mitchell Boulevard. On the eastbound side, we got backups from just before 84th Street all the way past 68th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast. Sunshine today, breezy conditions, high of 29, low down to 17 tonight as skies are mainly clear. Right now at 24. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a WTMJ exclusive. Wisconsin Center District President and CEO Marty Brooks maintaining his innocence. He was accused of sexual assault in his first public comments since the allegations came to light.
I have nothing to hide.
Brooks said the allegations levied against him by Milwaukee Common Council President Jose Perez have taken an emotional toll on himself and his family.
Imagine sitting in front of your 2 daughters' wife just prior to Thanksgiving and saying, hey, I got to have a family meeting.
No charges were ever filed against Brooks. His comments came amid a larger discussion about a study recommending a convention center hotel be built in downtown Milwaukee. Brooks tells WTMJ any allegations he knew the results of the study beforehand are false.
My objective was to get information to present to the board so we could look towards the future, period.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Wauwatosa and West Dallas have agreed to merge their fire departments. Both common councils have proven a 10-year contract to combine their resources. Fire officials from both cities say no cuts are expected. Tosa Fire Chief James Case.
We recognize both communities are very proud of their fire departments, both Wauwatosa and West Dallas, and so we know this is a big change and a big ask that we're looking to do. But it's one of those things we feel strongly we have to do at this point because both cities, both fire departments, our budgets continue to be impacted.
The merger process would begin in April. A study that was done in 2025 found that the merger could save both cities about $7 million.
A Milwaukee police officer accused of misusing department technology now faces criminal charges.
According to a criminal complaint, 33-year-old Josue Ayala is accused of using the department's Flock Technology license plate tracking system to check on the whereabouts of two people for personal reasons. Prosecutors say Ayala ran the license plate of one victim over 120 times and a second victim over 50 times. Ayala faces one count of attempted misconduct in public office. If convicted, he could face up to 9 months in prison and a $10,000 fine. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Vice President J.D. Vance will be in Wisconsin tomorrow. The VP is scheduled to visit Plover near Stevens Point to stump for Congressman Derek Van Orden. That visit comes days after President Trump's State of the Union address. The president touting his economic successes, but offered no specifics on how to keep the momentum going.
Mr. Trump touted the recent stock market records and soaring home values for homeowners. But Bankrate senior economic analyst Mark Hamrick says the president failed to explain how more Americans can attain those gains.
The problem is getting people to those stages, and the affordability challenges are essentially barriers.
The president said lowering interest rates would help more people afford homes, but Hamrick says the clock is ticking.
It's my sense that these affordability challenges are going to persist on through the midterm elections.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Cleanup continues across the Northeast after that record-breaking snowstorm.
On Cape Cod, crews from across the country are helping restore electricity, which could take until the weekend. Cleanup is underway in Rhode Island after more than 3 feet of snow. But some communities are struggling as plows keep getting bogged down.
We're stuck and the snow is up high, up to our knees.
The storm turning deadly at Salve Regina University in Newport, where authorities say a student died from carbon monoxide poisoning while charging his phone in a vehicle.
That's ABC's Sophie Flay reporting. More than 150,000 customers in Massachusetts alone still without power. Imagine going through that, because you may have a gas furnace, but you got to have the electric igniter there. So that is tough still out east. 705. News is brought to you by Margol Media. That's Margol Media, digital marketing done right.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margol Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
Get ready for a big savings haul. Fleet Farm's having another bucket sale. Just pick up a 5-gallon bucket for $3.99 anytime this Monday through Sunday and save 15% on any qualifying items that fit inside. Need paint supplies? New power tools. If you can fit them, you can get them for 15% off. So make your bucket list and head into Fleet Farm's bucket sale, February 23rd through March 1st. And check out all the deals in our weekly ad at fleetfarm.com. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
So many emails coming in. This trip will sell out. Vince Vitrano here. Vinny's European Vacation. Would love to have you join us in October, traveling to southern Italy and Sicily with WTMJ and Colette Vacations. Our tour begins in Palermo, Sicily. Happens to be where my dad's family is from. He's coming on the trip as well. Agrigento, Sorrento, Amalfi Coast, Positano, Pompeii, and we end in Rome. Nothing you need to do except sign up and show up, as my team at Colette has thought of and taken care of everything. I'll send you a brochure with a breakdown of each day on the trip, all the sites, sign-up information, and even your all-in cost and options. Email me, vince@WTMJ.com. That's vince@WTMJ.com. We've got a special get-together here at the station coming up as well. You can meet me, talk with all the folks at Colette. That's coming up on March 24th.
Let me show you the world.
at WTMJ.com, Southern Italy and Sicily this fall.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368. At Wisconsin's own Accunet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks or the mortgage guys with the Rocket for exactly the same rate. Find out how much you can save at ACCUNET.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:08.
A big bounce back for the Bucks. Sports at 7:15.
Fees for retrofitting sprinkler systems in Milwaukee apartment buildings could be waived under a new ordinance. Alderman Peter Begelis is pushing the legislation in response to several large fires at city apartments that did not have sprinkler systems.
The city should be able to lend a helping hand to these landlords and property owners to help encourage them to do so.
So under state law, buildings built before 1973 are not required to have a sprinkler system installed. The city says that only one voluntary retrofit started last year in an apartment building on MLK and Wright.
You bought a new car last year. Could bring you a nice tax break if it was made in America.
A $10,000 write-off on new car interest loan sounds great.
Anything to get the cost of car ownership down is going to be welcome to the consumer.
The caveat, says senior analyst Michael Giusti of InsuranceQuotes.com.
It really does come down to where was the manufacturing plant located.
Which makes it tricky. Detroit's General Motors assembles about half the cars and trucks it sells in the U.S. overseas, while 3/4 of Honda cars and trucks sold here are built here. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:09.
This report is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
For 31 years, WTMJ homeowners have trusted Siding Unlimited to transform their homes into dream homes. From windows and doors to siding, roofing, and decks, our team delivers craftsmanship that lasts. Because we're not just remodeling homes, we're building relationships. Hi, I'm Erik Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited. We started right here in Milwaukee, and after 3 decades, we're still guided by the same family values that help us deliver quality, honesty, and local pride. Whether you're ready for a full exteriors facelift or just replacing a couple windows and a door, trust the team that's been serving Wisconsin families for generations. For siding, roofing, windows, and doors, let Milwaukee's National Contractor of the Year, Siding Unlimited, give you a free estimate and start the process today. Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com. That's sidingunlimited.com.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to adventknows.com.
Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at amazonbusiness.com.
At 7:10, let's get an update on your morning drive. Debbie.
Left lane still blocked, westbound 94 at 35th Street with a crash. Hopefully they'll be able to get this one taken care of pretty quickly. You are seeing delays from 27th Street to that point. Eastbound 94, we've got backups from just before 84th Street past 68th. Overall, the rest of the system's looking pretty good. Maybe a quick tap of the brakes. Eastbound 894 heading right past Loomis, but nothing else major out there. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
From TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson with your storm team forecast. More sunshine out there for our Wednesday and breezy as temperatures today top out in the upper 20s to near 30 degrees. We'll keep the skies clear tonight as lows fall back into the teens. A partly cloudy sky back overhead for our Thursday. Very slim chance for a couple of flurries farther northwest of Milwaukee, really towards West Bend and even into central Wisconsin. We'll look for high temperatures tomorrow to top out in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees.
Milwaukee's at 24.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
All eyes, at least in Washington, were on the speech. Right? Is that fair? Can we say all eyes?
I'll grant you all eyes for that one. As you said, in Washington.
Yes, in Washington, the State of the Union.
Mr. Speaker!
Mr. Speaker!
Mr. Speaker! The President of the United States!
You know, an interesting, I don't know if anyone caught this, when the president was giving his speech, you may have noticed binders. stacked on the dais there on the podium where he was standing. And why are there binders just piled there? Well, it's tradition for any president, the president, to walk up there, and that's a printed version of his speech. And it's tradition to take those and then give one to the House Speaker and one to the Vice President, whomever they are, sitting behind the president there. And the president just forgot. So he just started giving a speech, and there those two binders were just kind of sitting there.
You two are going to have to pay attention.
Sorry.
You can't follow along.
You may have marked down when you were going to stand up, but now you're going to have to actually listen. So there was one moment when everyone celebrated. I think there's probably more than one, but there's one that everyone's thinking about. Yes, the gold medal winning men's hockey team streamed into the gallery during the President's State of the Union.
I told you. You said he could have a couple of guys. The brothers, maybe.
I wondered if maybe you'd see the Hughes brothers just sitting next to each other, but instead he had them all walk out.
Bring them all in,
wearing their sweaters and their medals. Sounds like the goalie's going to get the Medal of Freedom at some point.
Boy, it was awards night.
Yeah,
in Washington, handed out a lot of awards.
The president likes to put on a show, and he definitely did that. Giving out the Presidential Medal of Freedom, also giving out a Purple Heart, a couple of Purple Hearts. So that's just part of the show that the president likes to put on. So how did it go? You asked the House Speaker, Mike Johnson.
I think the president was pleased with it. We all are as well. It's shameful what the Democrats did tonight. The display should be beneath any member of Congress, and I think it's something they'll regret.
Yeah, there were some Democrats who didn't show up, others who called out. Congressman Al Green was escorted out. He had a sign. He was upset with the president. So that was the Republicans' view of it. What do you think, Chuck Schumer, the Senate Minority Leader?
What do you think of the
state of delusion? Okay, there you have it. As expected, both sides staunchly in their positions.
And the vice president coming here on the heels of the speech. Vice President J.D. Vance supposed to be in central Wisconsin
on
tomorrow.
Thursday. Yes, and he'll be there tomorrow to stump on behalf of Congressman Derek Van Orden, who is in a tight race coming up into the midterms.
Sports up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
2026 Brewers tickets are on sale now. This year, it all kicks off at our house with opening day at home, followed up with a schedule that's absolutely loaded. Throw in the same flair for the dramatic thrills on any given night. Plus Brewers giveaways you won't forget. And you've got a season you're going to have to see to believe. Don't miss a second of Brewers action this year. The crew is back for more. All Brewers tickets for the 2026 season are on sale now at Brewers.com.
The sounds of spring, and of course,
It is out of here!
Brewers baseball is back. Spring training baseball is here.
First home run of the spring belongs to Brandon Lockridge.
Join us for our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the Giants. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 2. We are the flagship station for your Milwaukee Brewers. 620 WTMJ.
The Mine Chef's Wednesday and Friday all-you-can-eat haddock Lenten fish fry is just $8.99. Kids and grandkids 5 and under eat free from the kids menu Sunday through Thursday. Google, call, and reserve your $8.99 fish fry. It's the Mine Chef.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Now that is a nice comeback win for your Milwaukee Bucks. Down 9 to the Heat in the fourth quarter at Fiserv Forum, but make a run led by KPJ.
Now here's Kevin Porter Jr. Wiggles free in the corner, hits the three and draws the foul.
He checked his feet real quick, Justin, to make sure he was behind the line before he fired the three. And then he was just run over after he hit the triple.
Nice little 4-point play there. Justin Garcia and Gabe Knightson with the call at Fiserv in for Dave Kane. So KPJ ties the season high, 32 points. Bucks win 128-117. This is the 7th in their last 9 games. So they've won 7 of 9, and that's after getting blown out. So how about that, Coach?
Yeah, he's been great. He knows when to attack now. You know, we always say he knows when to go to in scoot. You know what I mean by that? Or just go downhill and make plays. I thought putting all the shooting on the floor the last 3 minutes really opened the paint for us and allowed Ryan and Scoot to get downhill.
Yeah, that's the coach praising Kevin Porter Jr. there. Up next, the Cavs tonight right here on WTMJ Radio. Vince is going to be smiling today. Why is that? Well, because the Brewers have won a spring training game.
Don't make fun of me. It feels better to win the games than it does. That's all I said.
Fine.
Wouldn't you rather win than not?
Tyler Black, the Canadian,
I know it doesn't matter.
goes 3 for 3. He has a home run, 6 RBIs. He was taking out that aggression after losing to the U.S. in team hockey. Anyway, Tyler Black and the Brewers roll. They beat the A's 10-0. Up next, the Giants this afternoon. We'll have it here on WTMJ, 2 o'clock start time.
NFL Combine continues today in Indianapolis. Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst took the podium and took questions from reporters. Common refrain, got to get better finishing the job in games.
A number of our games the past couple of years, we've been up in the games and just not been able to close them out. And our group's got to get to that point, So I think we're on our way there. I really like the guys in our locker room, and I like the makeup of our team. But that's an area that we have to fix.
I like the guys in our locker room because I drafted them. Right, and signed them.
I certainly hope so.
Remember, Packers do not have a first-round pick this year due to the Micah Parsons trade. So we will first pick 52nd overall coming up with the draft in April unless there's some maneuvering. And it's been almost a full year. You have to go back to March, and early March at that, of 2025. But this finally happened once again Tuesday night. The Marquette Golden Eagles won a game on the road.
All right. Is this necessary?
Not counting neutral courts, MU had not beaten a team on their home court since March 1st when they beat Georgetown. And as it would happen, they were in Washington again and beat the Hoyas 76-60 for this season's first road
Off
victory.
the schneid.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Talk about shoes for a moment. Vince Vitrano here for my friends Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Got a fascinating update from Inspired Closets on all the things that they can do just with your shoes. So if you're the kind of person, you're a shoe person, right? You see the shoes that you have, you want to look at them, they bring you joy even when you're not wearing them. Sounds like you're a good candidate for the Shoe Shrine or a boutique display with integrated lighting. If you just want your shoes or your kids' shoes out of the front hall and better organized, maybe you're looking at the slanted shelving or vertical storage options. Can't go wrong any way you go with the experts at Inspired Closets. They'll know what's going to work best in your home because they start by talking to you, listening to you. What are your needs? Book a no-obligation appointment now or stop out at the showroom. It's right near Gerke's Corners in Waukesha. Tell them Vinny sent you. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets, InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
The only place to get this.
They have won 3 consecutive games, and how about 6 in their last 7? Rejuvenated, to be sure.
With some of this.
Giannis is going to play. Like Giannis himself has said it, they are trying to win and get into the playoffs. And at this point, we are past the point of no return because of what we just said before with the lottery odds.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors of Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week, we talk a great event, Open Season Sportsman's Expo coming up in the Dells. We talked about ATVs, UTVs, and snowmobiling, big thing in Wisconsin. We wrapped it up with a great conversation about maple syrup production in this great state of Wisconsin.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Checking in with Debbie here at 722. How's the roads?
Left lane still blocked on westbound 94 at 35th Street with a crash. So watch out for that. Delays coming in from about 20th Street all the way to that point. A little bit more delayed right through the stadium. On the eastbound side, we got backups from 92nd Street past 68th. and again through the stadium interchange to about 35th Street. And then a little bit of a heavy ride on the bypass heading eastbound from 92nd Street all the way to Loomis. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast brought to you by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Sunshine today, high of 29, low down to 17 tonight. Next couple are pretty decent. 39 degrees your high temperature on Thursday under partly cloudy skies and mostly sunny on Friday with a high of 54. Milwaukee right now at 25.
.23 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Harley Davidson making some news this week. I don't know how to feel about this. Bringing in Kristen Bry.
Hi, guys. Look at us.
Kristen Bry coming back to the show.
Throwback to 2022.
You
Was it that long ago?
You upgraded
It's
to Scafidi.
2022. That's how long ago when Vince had just started.
That's right.
People
we're
basically
coming
didn't know who I was.
On a 4-year anniversary of
I
that
know.
program.
I know.
Launching here on WTMJ.
So we're going to replay that final hour of that show when the three of us talked about, what was it? Parks?
I know. We were trying to figure out
listen.
what is this hour.
Kidding, by the way, that's not happening.
You're hard on me today. Be nice over there.
We were up late last night.
Oh, did you
Tired.
guys stay up for the whole thing?
No. So according to Washington, the president's still speaking. I'm just kidding. No, it was an hour and 47 minutes long. That was a late
Which means
one.
I won my bet.
You said you
had an
Scafidi and I
over-under?
bet. Scafidi said an hour 30. I said an hour 45. So it means I won.
Oh, he's gonna be
Even with
upset.
Price is Right rules.
She's going to make my shut the hell up list.
Easy, Steve. He's not in the room. All right, so, hey, real quick, want to ask you about the Bowling for Babies. We've been hearing a lot about that. So want to get your take on that and what that is and how we can all participate. But first, so Harley Davidson in the news, their homecoming. They've decided to scrap the homecoming.
The annual homecoming.
The annual homecoming, you're right.
And, you know, I think I have an interesting. So, for people unfamiliar, I am married to an event planner
Yep.
who does a lot of different things around the city, including the Shamrock Shuffle, which is coming up, which people either love or hate.
There you go.
But it's interesting hearing his perspective on not this case in particular, but, you know, when they first brought back the homecoming, he talks about it as how the different the different organizations that put on festivals can work together, right? As far as planning, when you pick a weekend, trying to understand what else is going on that weekend so you don't cannibalize festivals. Like he's involved with the Locust Street Festival, and he made the hard decision. He advocated, and now they have made the hard decision to move it a weekend earlier so it's not constantly competing with the Pride Parade, right?
Sure.
And he said, and this is kind of throwing Harley under the bus, that Harley's always just doesn't really consider that when they're making their decisions about events. And they did that with Homecoming as far as like I think it was coinciding with Brady Street Festival or something like that.
Oh, well, there was the one year, there was that, the Air and Water Show, and German Fest.
Right.
And it was like,
all
how
in
are we
one
going to do
weekend,
this?
right? And
That's right.
and so that's my immediate thought as far as not doing it every week, especially because it feels like Homecoming is more of it's not necessarily for people in Milwaukee. It's
True.
certainly for a lot of people who are coming to town. And does it make sense for that like annual pilgrimage instead of making it every 5 years for people
Make
who are
it special.
Yeah, for like making it an opportunity to come to town instead of like, oh, this is just a yearly thing we do. I'm not a Harley rider, so I don't know how special this is to people who are Harley enthusiasts.
Yeah.
But it's also just we always have a lot going on in the summer. So I
Jam
don't
it all
know. Is
into
this
a
like
few
financially, are
months.
we going to take a huge hit? Like, do hotels take a huge hit if this isn't every year?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, it was already scheduled, right? I mean,
I think
we had
that's the thing for
dates
me.
for this year. I think July 9th or whatever. I'm pulling that out, but I think that's where it was supposed to be around that weekend. But
So are we thinking this is just the new CEO who's like, this is not an expenditure we want to do?
probably. I mean, he's talked about wanting to do a reset. Everything we've seen and heard about him, really like him so far.
You guys interviewed him?
No,
Not yet.
no one has.
Been working
that's
on
my,
that.
That's my issue. Is let's start rolling that guy out here, and
because
we
he
should do
comes
the media
off,
tour.
he comes off like a very likable, strong leader. And if that's the case, then
Remind me where he came from. What was he doing before this?
Top Golf,
Top
right?
Golf, right?
Okay.
And people I know on the inside
Ooh.
say they really like him.
Great.
So I mean, that's a good start. But obviously, they're going to do a reset here as far as the because of their last earnings.
So what do you
report.
think? What's your initial reaction?
I mean, they are putting their money towards Summerfest, right? So they're re-implementing the stage at Summerfest. They're doing that. So, and that's kind of like in that same week or like really close together. So maybe that's part of it, a better asset. Take advantage of an engine like Summerfest. Use your money more wisely there.
Well, and
maybe
I
there's no
think
one to
Sarah's
hire
doing a great job.
for a
Is like,
band.
what else can Summerfest be doing? Right? Like every year they're adding more festivals. I think that they are doing a really great job as far as expanding and thinking about what more could we be doing? Because I think for a long time the complaint about Summerfest pre-Sarah was, here's this unbelievable plot of land that only gets utilized a small fraction of the year. And so their effort to do more, I think, is
awesome.
is very supported.
Totally agree.
Well, Kristen's got a big event coming up. It's called Bowling for Babies. It's brought to you by Gruber Law Offices, coming up on Saturday, March 7th at Village Bowl. If Kristen sticks around for a second, we'll tell you how you can join us and everything that's going to happen that day. We'll do that just ahead. First, news about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average finished at 49,175. The NASDAQ at 22,864. And the S&P 500 at 6890. All those indices up in trading on Tuesday. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. AnnexWealth.com. Welcome to another episode of The Human Advantage. This is where we explore the latest in employee growth and hiring trends and how your company and your people can take advantage. Brought to you by LAK Group, helping organizations and professionals harness their true potential. LAK, discover your human advantage. Today with Mike Grubich, co-owner of LAK. And Mike, a lot of companies talk about finding talent, but fewer have a real strategy for developing that talent from within.
That's right, Vince. They're getting better, but it's still tough finding people who are a perfect fit for both the role and the culture of the company. For organizations and their leaders, the real competitive advantage now is building a sustainable pipeline of talent, growing people who will perform, grow, and stay with your organization for a long period of time. It takes more than just a few workshops or a classroom experience. It requires ongoing career development and good conversations, and also blending things like coaching and AI and other development tools to help them grow.
So let's talk about how LAK actually helps companies do that, Mike.
We build a suite of career development resources from early career to emerging leader to senior leader that combines human coaches, an AI coach, AI-driven scenarios and insights, and a partnership with LinkedIn Learning to give people a good resource for their development on demand. Our Oriel platform personalizes development plans. It supports managers in the real-time conversations, and it gives organizations data on who's ready for the roles and what's next. The result is an internal staff who grow with the business and stay with your organization.
And with this stuff, Mike, there's a real return on the investment, right?
Absolutely. When you develop people from within, you see reduction in your turnover costs, you see reduction in your hiring costs, and you see a faster time to competence in a role. We have a customer where their sales professionals are selling at about 3 times a higher rate than others on the team based on the development that they've had and the selection of the right salespeople. One other organization has seen the turnover in their sales force reduced by almost 50% because they're using assessments to hire the right fit.
Good stuff, Mike. If you or your company need coaching or career development or LAK's new coaching on demand platform, head to LAK's website, transformingcareers.com.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Part of the longest State of the Union address ever. President Trump touting the state of the economy. ABC's Rachel Scott.
With polls showing he is losing ground on the economy, Trump painting a rosy picture ahead of the midterms, trying to convince wary voters Republicans can deliver.
Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it.
But the president also keenly aware he just suffered a massive blow to his economic agenda, coming face to face with some of the very justices who declared most of his sweeping tariffs unconstitutional, including Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who he nominated.
Expected on the stand today, the 20-year-old suing social media companies, accusing them of getting her addicted. The nominee to be the next Surgeon General, Dr. Casey Means, faces questions at her Senate confirmation hearings today. And the nominees are out for induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. First-timers include Lauryn Hill and Pink. This is ABC News.
Well, things are slowing down still on 94 westbound. We do have a crash at 35th Street that's still being worked on. Left lane is blocked. Backups from 17th Street all the way to that point, and then beyond all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound 94 backing up right past Barker Road, and then back on the brakes 92nd Street to Hawley Road. We've got delays northbound 4394 coming out of the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, high of 29 under mostly sunny skies today, low down to 17. Milwaukee right now with a ways to go at 24. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a newly filed lawsuit alleges the Wisconsin State Legislature is failing to adequately fund the state's public schools.
The list of defendants includes Republican legislative leaders Robin Vos and Devin LeMahieu, along with the State Budget Writing Committee, which includes Democratic gubernatorial candidate Kelda Roys. The suit alleges the state is violating the Wisconsin Constitution's requirement that all children be provided with an equal opportunity for education. It also blames a drop in student test scores over the past 2 decades on inadequate funding. It comes as a record high 241 referenda were put before voters for approval to fund schools in 2024. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Metal detectors are coming to the high schools in Kenosha. School board meeting approved that. It comes after incidents at Bradford High School earlier this month involving, at least in one case, a student bringing a gun to school. Residents say the safety measures are overdue.
In recent weeks, parents have expressed growing concerns about gun violence and the need for KUSD to take stronger action.
The district will spend more than $450,000 to purchase 18 metal detectors and wands.
2 Milwaukee suburbs giving the green light for a fire department merger.
Both the West Allis and Wauwatosa Common Councils approving the merger during their meetings Tuesday night. Wauwatosa Fire Chief James Case.
And so we know this is a big change and a big ask that we're looking to do. But it's one of those things we feel strongly we have to do at this point because both cities, both fire departments, our budgets continue to be impacted.
A study last year found the merger could save both cities around $7 million. Fire officials from both cities say no cuts are expected from the merger. The plan calls for a 10-year contract with service starting this April. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Vice President J.D. Vance is going to be back in Wisconsin tomorrow. The VP will be in Plover, that's near Stevens Point. He'll tour a manufacturing facility there. It's part of a congressional district represented by Republican Congressman Derek Van Orden. Now, Democrats have said this week that district and one other, the Bryan Style District, are 2 Republican-held districts in Wisconsin that the Democrats are trying to flip.
Coming up, bowlers unite for a cause. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:34.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Get new Pella windows and doors with no payments and no interest for 4 years. PellaWI.com. Wisconsin homes ask a lot of their windows and doors. They need to be ready for anything year-round. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, everything we do is built around quality and durability. You shouldn't have to make compromises to ensure you're comfortable at home. So right now, take advantage of 0% financing for up to 4 years. Learn how the right windows and doors can make a meaningful difference in your home's comfort, efficiency, and overall style. With Pella, you'll get expert recommendations designed around your home, your needs, and the way you live. From design to installation, Pella's local experts are there to guide you every step of the way, helping you choose the right options for your home, your style, and your budget. Thanks to 0% financing until 2030 and our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your decision long after installation day. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 2/28/2026.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
Packers GM Brian. It was a long way getting there, but I see where we are now.
I feel like you listed off things that some people would have take issue with.
You don't smile for Skittles?
Oh, I do. I mean, yes, I am a trash can.
That is Kristen Bry there. So you are bowling for babies. This is an amazing and fun event that we can all take part in.
Yes, I am very excited about this. So I have been a big supporter of Milwaukee Diaper Mission, basically as long as my kid, who's 2.5, has been alive. If you're unfamiliar, Milwaukee Diaper Mission is the only diaper bank in Southeast Wisconsin. And so that's pretty simple, right? They raise money and take donations for diapers and period products, but largely diapers. And then they, through distribution partners with different needs banks around Milwaukee County, get those diapers to those needs banks for families to be able to use diapers. Why? Because diapers are incredibly expensive.
Yes.
In the first year of a baby's life, because they go through 6 to 8 diapers a day, that equates to 2,500 to 3,000 diapers in a year. And just like everything else, diapers go up in cost every year. And, and you think about the reality of what it is to keep your kid in a dirty diaper because you don't have another diaper, and what that leads to rashes and their health as far as just keeping wet diapers on them. And if you've ever seen a baby's bottom that has been raw like that and then having to deal with it, it's just like it's like the dignity of it, right? So as having a small child, thinking about what those choices are for families who just can't afford diapers, thus I have always really cared about what Megan Johnson, who is the founder of Milwaukee Diaper Mission, does. Mariah Tacumbo has been very involved with this organization. So we get to this year, WTMJ Cares. What do we want to do? Let's raise some money for Milwaukee Diaper Mission. How are we going to do that? We're going to go bowling at Village Bowl in your neck of the woods, Menominee Falls.
It's a great site.
March 7th, and we've recruited Vince Vitrano.
Please attend anyway.
John McCure from ESPN. Jen Lattis said she's going to be there. Alex Strofe, Ben Brust. I think we're going to probably have different people from Good Karma Brands, just even if they're not bowling, hanging out for the day. So it's a 9-pin bowling tournament, which basically, I guess, I've never played it like that, but it's like if you hit 9 pins out of 10, it's considered a strike.
Okay, good.
We have a silent auction. I think that's going live this week with some and even if you're not playing, you can take part in the silent auction.
So you can go even if you're not going to bowl, but you can bowl.
We would love for you to bowl.
Yes.
In fact, we're still looking for teams. Let me read this here.
We're still looking for teams.
Okay. Teams of 4, and it's $170 per team. And we still have some slots available.
Still have slots available. Want to fill that up. And then for the teams that are playing, we have prizes. So the grand prize, the team that wins, I have donated my personal 4 Packer tickets to an agreed-upon game. And so you'll get to go with your team. I would hope that the 4 that you're playing with are the 4 that will go to the game, but I guess I'll leave that up to the winning team. But on top of getting to go to the game, we're also going to throw in, you get to go to the Tundra Trio, which is, for people unfamiliar, is Good Karma Brands. They have 3 houses that are in a stone's throw of Lambeau Field. A really fun party, open bar, lots of food. They even give you cousin subs after the game for your ride home.
Yeah, you're all set up. It's an all-in tailgate. And
so
it's
that's
amazing.
the grand prize, which is a pretty good package. And then second prize is WTMJ Day for the Brewers. So you get to come to WTMJ Day, 4 tickets to the game itself. So great prizes, great cause. Come play with us. Get a team of 4. If you text BABY to 855-616-1620 or go to WTMJcares.com, you can sign up.
Awesome.
Christian Bry, live with us here on Wisconsin's Morning News. News sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
Ever wonder what it takes to feel truly financially comfortable? Schwab recently asked Americans that question. Most said at least $2 million. But everyone's vision is different. Maybe it's traveling, retiring early, leaving a legacy, or knowing your family is covered. That's why one-size-fits-all solutions aren't enough. Your goals are unique, and your financial strategy should be too. At Annex Wealth Management, the first step is listening, not pitching. Annex works with you to build a personalized roadmap based on your values and objectives. Past performance isn't a guarantee of future results. Annex Wealth Management offers guidance and financial planning at every level, no matter how simple or complex your portfolio may be. Maybe you've been doing things yourself for years. What if a team of experienced professionals took a second look to help you discover new options? If you've been wondering how to feel more financially confident about your family or your business, click the Get Started button at AnnexWealth.com. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
We see you out there coming up with original ideas, which is why you shop at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Because you know that when inspiration stirs, we'll have what you need at prices that help make it happen. During our big pet care event, all multi-pet dog and cat toys are 25% off. New Blaine's Naturals dog treats start at just $4.99. And get a free $15 Blaine's gift card with every $100 spent on Purina pet products. Find value on the things you value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Time saver traffic at 7:42. How's the drive, Deb?
Well, we got a crash on 41 southbound, just south of Highway 33. It's off on the right shoulder, so watch out for that in Washington County. We did have that earlier accident on 94 westbound at 35th Street. That has now been cleared. We do still have delays, though, from before 27th all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound, backing up from just past 92nd Street all the way to Hawley Road, and again through the Stadium interchange to 35th. And then we've got backups on the bypass heading northbound from before Beloit Road up to National, and on the eastbound side from the Hale interchange all the way past Loomis. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
.43 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Let me get you through the 5-day forecast here. And a couple of, I got a decent day, I got a super nice day, and then it gets cold again. We're just popping one day in the 50s. So for today, I have just 29 degrees, skies mostly sunny, and clear skies overnight mean we get pretty cold, low down to 17. For Thursday, our high temperature is 39 degrees, skies partly cloudy. Friday is the winter if you want another taste of spring. I know winter sports. I think there's still some snowpack there, and there's still. I mean, we live in Greendale on the south side. It's right near the Rock, and they still got snow on the hill.
Yeah, you can see it. Okay,
so that's still out there for you. But we're gonna have some melting Friday of what's left. Friday's high 54 degrees. Another one of those windy, mild days, and skies will be mostly sunny. For the weekend, back to winter sports. High 33 on Saturday, maybe some light snow Saturday evening and Sunday, just 29 degrees for the high temperature. So we get you your taste of spring on Friday. Right now it's at 24 degrees. We got sports up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of the Neal Group and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. Happy New Year. Hopefully you enjoyed the holidays and spent time relaxing. Now it's tax time. I know. It's not the most wonderful time of the year, wondering if you are getting a refund or owe, waiting for all the forms to come, and wondering what is deductible. Control the situation instead of letting it control you. Let us help you understand all the new tax laws, how they affect you, and how to take advantage of them. Last year, we helped Janet and Norm go from owing $43,000 to getting a $500 refund. We can help you, too. The first meeting is free. Call now, 414-325-2040, or visit nealgroup.net. You earned it. We help you keep it. That's 414-325-2040 or nealgroup.net.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
How about your Milwaukee Bucks down 9 to the Heat, but they make a comeback late?
Now the Bucks starting to feel much better here. 8-1 run, and Ryan Rollins connecting. Make that a 10-1 run, and it's a 6-point Bucks lead under 2 minutes to go.
Justin Garcia with the call. He was in for Dave Kane at Fiserv Forum as the Bucks roll 128-117 over the Heat. Big win. That's their 7th in their last 9. And it comes after they kind of got beat pretty good the last game they were in. So Doc Rivers happy with how they're responding.
This is a big response for us. You know, this is what we haven't done this year. We'll, get a nice stretch of games going, and then we'll lose. And then the next game, we kind of give in again. And tonight, there were stretches where we could have gave in, and we didn't. So I told them that after the game. I said, that's a gut kind of win for us.
Up next, the Cavs tonight right here on WTMJ Radio. Before the Bucks game tonight here on the station, we'll have Brewers baseball, Cactus League action. Brewers and Giants this afternoon on WTMJ. It comes after they just rolled over the A's, so Vince is having a victory Wednesday because the Brewers won a game.
Again, I'm not flying the flag or whatever.
You came in here doing all this stuff.
Rather win than not win, even if it's spring training.
Victory Wednesday. Let's get chicken.
Just wanted to win one.
Tyler Black goes 3 for 3 at a home run, 6 RBIs. They beat the A's 10-0. Was the apple throw from The Miz real? It's all over social media. He knocked an apple off a player's head while he was making a pitch. Was it real? We'll ask Dom an hour from now.
No first-round pick for the Packers this year. Remember, we traded it for Micah Parsons. The Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst at the NFL Combine says still no regrets on that choice. Also touting the upside for his first-round draft pick in the 2025 draft, wide receiver Matthew Golden.
With all the opportunities that we gave him, I thought he did an excellent job. Would have loved to seen him get more opportunities through the year. It didn't work out that way, but when he did, he performed, and he performed at a high level. And really excited to see where he goes in year 2.
NFL Combine continues today in Indianapolis. And in college basketball, this has not happened yet this entire season. A season which is almost over. It's almost March Madness time. It happened Tuesday night.
It's finally done. Marquette wins on the road and convincingly, and they did it without Royce Parham. Marquette over Georgetown at Georgetown by 16.
76-60, the final for the Golden Eagles' first win on the road this season.
Thanks for the pretzel, Coach.
We demand a lot of our shoulders and hands, our hips and knees, our backs and feet. They do life's heavy lifting, so we owe them the greatest attention in return. The Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network provides expert orthopedic and spine care to help you move, lift, turn, and reach with the most possible ease. Whether you have a sports-related injury or a nagging condition that just won't go away, excellence should always be an option. So we make our care available in nearby locations and offer same-day ortho and spine appointments when relief can't wait. It's how to recover quicker, prevent small concerns from becoming big ones, and solve complex issues with the expertise you can only get with academic medicine. We're given just one body, so let's tend to it, check in on it. Let's give it the greatest of care, because when it's tuned up and injury-free, we can always be pushing ahead. To learn more about our nationally recognized orthopedic and spine care, visit froedtert.com/ortho.
It is prime time for Critter Emergence. We're in it. Vince Vitrano here for the Bugman and Queen Bee, the folks I use for pest control at our house. Had critters in the past, to be honest with you. No more since we began working with Bugman, Queen Bee. Adam is the Bugman. Says sometimes these temperature fluctuations cause the mice and rats and what have you to gain entry to your home or business. If they're already in your house, a lot of places to call. How about supporting this local, family, and veteran-owned business? They're based right here in West Dallas. Once they're out, you want to make sure the critters don't come back in. Full rodent inspection, close off any entry points, and monthly monitoring to make sure those critters don't come back. Tell Julie when you call that Vinny sent you. Bugman, queenbee.com.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. The staff is deeply committed to providing a welcoming and engaging environment for everyone at every level. Learn the right way to handle firearms, level up your skills, and experience replica firearms from different historical eras while learning about their role in protecting our freedoms throughout history. Visit veteran-owned and managed Mission 94 in Kenosha today. Check out the 5-star reviews. Just Google Mission 94.
Staples has hot deals and low prices on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
Checking in with Debbie here at 10 to 8.
A new crash, 894 eastbound, right at 60th Street, off on the right shoulder. So heads up with that. We do have delays coming out of the Hale interchange all the way to that point. Also delays northbound on the Rock Freeway from before Highway 100 into the Hale. We've got eastbound 94 backing up a bit just past Highway F in Waukesha County. And then again from just before 84th Street all the way to about Hawley Road and again through the Stadium interchange. Southbound 43 now starting to slow down south of Silver Spring all the way down to Locust. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Forecast sponsored by Dave Drakamp Heating. Sunny and breezy today, high of 29. Tonight, clear, 17s, your low. For tomorrow, partly cloudy, high of 39. Friday, it warms up just for a day. Friday, sunny, windy, mild, a high of 54.
Idea Man.
Remember back to hearing stories from your parents about walking uphill both ways to school and how much better it was. And then you think, well, that's just what old people do. And then you become the old person.
Innovator.
I was kind of the king of Mario Kart back in the mid-2000s.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
Now my kids got it, and it's on a different system. And I stink.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News is sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tausch, don't know if you had an opportunity to hear all of the remarks that Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst made in both his podium appearance and a quick aside with some local reporters at the NFL Combine, but a couple of storylines I wanted to explore. There's a suggestion on the social media that Gutekunst was sort of saying, listen, I built a Super Bowl roster, and it's not on me that we didn't get it done.
Yeah, I did hear a vast majority, especially the clips, of what Goody had to say, and nothing was overly surprising. And no, I understand, man. And listen, I think when you're in this line of work and when you kind of try to read between lines on things, do I think that Goody believes he brought a lot of really good players in, including Micah Parsons? Yes. Do I think that he, is kind of putting this all at the foot of the coaches? No. I do think that he's looking at this holistically and saying that we're good enough to win a championship. And I know that was one of the big takeaways from Goody's comments yesterday, and that, whether you want to use it as an excuse or however you want to frame it, when you lose three of your, arguably three of your best 6 or 7 players on your roster for a good chunk of the season, especially at the end of the year, it is really difficult to overcome that. So I didn't hear it. I guess the same way I know Brad Nortman on KBN. I saw him getting clipped up saying those things. I don't think it's like, all right, here you go, Matt LaFleur. I don't know what the hell you're doing. That's not how I heard what he had to say. What I heard him say is that we have a good roster. We have good coaches. We need to find a way to put this all together when the time, especially at those money times when you're talking about January and February football, we just need to be better. That's what I heard.
You know what else I heard, or I guess I was reminded of, Tausch? I hadn't thought about this, but we don't have a first-round draft pick this year.
No, we don't. No, and we don't have one next year.
That was the part of the Micah Parsons trade.
Yeah, and by the way, I think every one of us, especially as Micah was getting going and the season that he had up until him getting injured, you'd give up a first-round pick for that. You'd give up 2 first-round picks for that, and the way it all kind of shook itself out. Brian Gutekunst. There's been a lot of Packer fans that critique Goody's first-round picks and say he's better in the second, 4th round, anyways. You'd obviously love to have that first-round pick, but one of the things that I heard him say yesterday that I loved was he's still going through the same approach. He's still, because if you don't have a first-round pick, a lot of times you could say, well, I don't need to put my time in on evaluating guys that are going to be drafted in that first 30. I can just look at who's going to fit in that slot that I'm going to have. That is not the approach, and you just never know. There's, Edgerrin Cooper was a first-round graded player, and he slid to the Packers' second-round pick. You'd never want to, I guess, leave any stone unturned when you're going through that process. And even though we don't have a first-round pick, you always hope that you can get a first-round value at whatever pick you end up going to get.
Tausch, were you surprised that the Packers were surprised that special team guy Rich Bisaccia had told them, yeah, you know what, I'm going to step away?
I'm surprised they were surprised that we were surprised that they weren't surprised, if that makes any sense. Yes, you need to – I think there's always things that come up, right? Health concerns. There's always things that will come up. But when it doesn't feel like that's the case, and again, until you know all of the story, how much of the story do you know? But, yeah, when you're talking about one of your leaders, and everybody involved has said he is a part of the culture. He's a big part of both the coach's culture and the player's culture. And it almost felt like they were blindsided by this. And is that concerning? Absolutely. I don't know how you couldn't be. You have to have a general idea. You have conversations. You're in the building. You're talking. And I don't know what happened. I don't know how it all played out. And yesterday kind of added more fuel to that fire of we don't know what happened. So, yeah, to answer your question, I'm very surprised that they were surprised because there's things that you can be surprised about player-wise and other things that happen in the league. But from your own coach that's been with you for 4 years, that's coordinating a unit, yeah, that's 38 days after the season ends. It's very surprising, no doubt.
All right. What happens today then? More poking, more prodding, more. Is today
There's
the day
more
we do
poke and prod.
running?
I don't think LaFleur is down there, so you won't hear from from him. But it's always great to get an idea to hear from where Goody and where everybody's thoughts are. I'd love to hear from Matt LaFleur on this because it's obviously his hire. I'd love to hear from Mr. Policy about his thought process. I'd love to hear more and more. And I know there's owners' meetings coming up, but especially for our show content, more is better, always.
And there will be more tomorrow.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Tausch.
Thanks, Tausch.
7:58 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Harley-Davidson is returning as a Summerfest sponsor this year, 5 years after it took a break from the festival. The motorcycle maker's major focus will be on the July 4th celebration of America's anniversary. One of the largest homes in River Hills is back on the market, 3 years after it sold for $2.5 million. The sprawling riverfront mansion on 6.7 acres is being listed for $3.75 million. Tariffs have been a death sentence for some small and mid-sized companies, the head of the National Association of Manufacturers said while visiting Milwaukee this week. While larger companies were better positioned to absorb the hit from the tariffs, smaller players lack the necessary resources. I'm Timothy Gibbons with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your car can't express its gratitude when you get an oil change, but the people you're helping will sure appreciate it because when you visit an Adam member new car dealer through May 16th, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. To date, Adam has donated more than $960,000, providing 2.8 million meals. To find a participating Adam dealer near you, visit adamm.com. And thank you.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
It's starting to feel a lot like springtime.
Off and running, huh?
We are off and running.
William Contreras admired at the wall. It's gone! Brewers baseball is back. It's a Cactus League matchup between the Brewers and the Giants. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 2. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
8 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. It is Wednesday, February 25th. Our top story, new safety measures in Kenosha schools.
I'm Erik. Bilstad. Charges for misusing police technology.
I'm Debbie Laziga, 41 southbound. We do have a crash just past Mayfair Road. It is off on the right shoulder on 41 southbound, so heads up with that. We've also got 894 eastbound at 60th Street. The right shoulder is blocked with a crash there. We do have delays coming in from the Hale interchange to that point. Westbound 94 backing up from 27th to Mitchell Boulevard, and again right around the Calhoun area. Eastbound's backed up from 92nd Street past Hawley Road, back on the brakes through the stadium to 35th. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast. Today's high 29 degrees. Skies mostly sunny. Be a bit on the breezy side as well. Tonight's low down to 17. We are at 23. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, new security measures will move forward in Kenosha schools.
Tuesday night, the Kenosha School Board approved metal detectors at all 6 district high schools. The move comes after recent gun-related arrests involving Bradford High School students. Superintendent Dr. Jeffrey Weiss says safety is a shared responsibility.
This past Friday, a team from KUSD traveled to Hamilton High School in Milwaukee to watch their weapon detection procedures in action. We were able to see the item on tonight's board agenda, the CHEA Open Gates System in action. Children deserve to feel safe and supported.
Parents are urging the approved policies to expand throughout the entire district. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
A newly filed lawsuit alleges the Wisconsin legislature is failing to adequately fund the state's public schools. Republican leaders Robin Voss and Devin Lemieux are listed as defendants in that lawsuit, along with the State Budget Writing Committee. It alleges the state is violating the Wisconsin Constitution's requirement that all children be provided with an equal opportunity for a sound, basic, and uniform education. The lawsuit blames a drop in student testing scores over the past 2 decades on inadequate funding.
A WTMJ exclusive. Wisconsin Center District President and CEO Marty Brooks, maintaining his innocence, was accused of a sexual assault in his first public comment since the allegations came to light.
I have nothing to hide.
Brooks said the allegations levied against him by Milwaukee Common Council President Jose Perez have taken an emotional toll on himself and his family.
Imagine sitting in front of your 2 daughters' wife just prior to Thanksgiving and saying, hey, I got to have a family meeting.
No charges were ever filed against Brooks. His comments came amid a larger discussion about a study recommending a convention center hotel be built in downtown Milwaukee. Brooks tells WTMJ any allegations he knew the results of the study beforehand are false.
My objective was to get information to present to the board so we could look towards the future, period.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A Milwaukee police officer accused of misusing department technology now faces criminal charges.
According to a criminal complaint, 33-year-old Josue Ayala is accused of using the department's Flock Technology license plate tracking system to check on the whereabouts of 2 people for personal reasons. Prosecutors say Ayala ran the license plate of one victim over 120 times and a second victim over 50 times. Ayala faces 1 count of attempted misconduct in public office. If convicted, he could face up to 9 months in prison and a $10,000 fine. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Wauwatosa and West Dallas have now agreed to merge their fire departments. Both common councils approving a 10-year contract to combine their resources. Votes taken Tuesday night. Fire officials from both cities say no cuts are expected from the merger. Wauwatosa Fire Chief James Case.
We recognize both communities are very proud of their fire departments, both Wauwatosa and West Dallas, and so we know this is a big change and a big ask that we're looking to do. But it's one of those things we feel strongly we have to do at this point because both cities, both fire departments, our budgets continue to be impacted.
The merged departments expected to begin operating in April. Study last year found the merger could save both cities about $7 million.
Vice President J.D. Vance is expected in Plover, Wisconsin tomorrow. It comes just a couple of days after the State of the Union. Tuesday night on Capitol Hill, a marathon State of the Union address from President Trump telling the American people the U.S. is winning even as he faces low approval ratings.
About 90 minutes in, the president turning briefly to Iran, at some point drawing bipartisan praise.
But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen.
But the president doing little to explain why the U.S. may strike Iran, calling the country an urgent threat, even as he insists U.S. strikes obliterated the country's nuclear program last year.
ABC's Rachel Scott.
Air travel returning to normal in and out of Mexico, but tourists still on edge after violence erupted following the killing of a top cartel boss.
Shelter-in-place orders for American tourists in Mexico now lifted days after the drug cartel's violent response to the government taking out one of their most notorious leaders. T.J. Johnson was on vacation in Puerto Vallarta with his family when they were caught up in the chaos trying to reach the airport on Sunday.
There were a couple of motorcycles that approached us to try to get us to stop or to pull over.
TJ and his family are now on a flight departing Friday.
ABC News correspondent Gio Benitez reporting.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 8:06 coming up. Hope you're actually using those season tickets.
News is brought to you by Axis Legal. Worn down by work? Contact Axis Legal, AXIS Legal, today.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life.
At Axis Legal, we stand up for people worn down by work.
Workers' comp is our sole focus, and our team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Axis Legal for a risk-free consultation.
Search AXIS Legal today.
Hey, Wisconsin anglers. This Saturday, head to MW Marine for a free fishing seminar. No reservation needed. Meet Warren Zarin from the Mercury Lund Pro Team and learn West Coast bass techniques that flat out work in Wisconsin. Pick up tips you can use right away. And while you're there, check out the boats and get ready for your best season yet. This Saturday at MW Marine. Free, fun, and you're invited.
Keep
Keep the comfort in and the weather out with beautiful new windows and doors from Siding Unlimited. For ideas, go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
Negotiations ongoing as the U.S. continues building up military assets in the Middle East.
Photos of a key airbase in Jordan show dozens of U.S. military aircraft lined up on the runways there, far more than typical rotations, including fighter jets and support planes. Analysts say the imagery underscores how the U.S. is quietly positioning air power across multiple locations in the region, not just in Israel, as officials signal a defensive posture designed to deter escalation, including from Iran.
ABC's Nicole D'Antonio. More talks between the U.S. and Iran scheduled for tomorrow in Geneva.
The Louvre is trying to recover from the expensive robbery last year. Now a new director there.
The Louvre is going through some difficult times following a $100 million robbery last year and a 10-year-long ticket scam. Its new director will be Christophe Larabeau, and it will be his job to clean up the museum's image and modernize its operation.
CBS correspondent Brad Gibson.
Green Bay Packers continuing their non-renewal exercise, as they call it. This is the policy of declining the renewal of season tickets for account holders who repeatedly resell their seats on the secondary market.
The team specifically targets season ticket holders who purchase tickets with the sole intent of reselling them.
We've got such a great experience at Lambeau Field and we do like hosting fans from other teams.
Public Affairs Director Aaron Popke, a guest on ESPN Wisconsin's Wilde and Tausch.
And Lambeau's a bucket list. Makes for great TV to have some fans from the other team there. We would love for that experience to continue, but everything we're doing here is just focusing on maintaining and building, increasing that home field advantage.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
The Packers confirm it's fewer than 1% of season ticket holders who lost their seats in 2025.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:09.
Your European experts at Fox World Travel are ramping up and busy as ever. When you want to see more of Europe, Princess Cruises delivers. With Princess Cruises and Fox World Travel, explore iconic Mediterranean ports by day, then relax in classic comfort by night. From immersive shore excursions to destination-inspired dining, every moment is designed to feel effortless. Ready to set sail on your Mediterranean adventure? Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com to book your European getaway.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Capital Heating and Cooling and Abby Home. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for Spano Pratt. Leading a nonprofit, that takes more than heart. It takes the right leader, person with skills, experience, and passion to move your mission forward. Those people are not always easy to find. That's where Spano Pratt comes in. They focus exclusively on nonprofit executive searches, from discovering high-caliber candidates to rigorous assessment and selection, and then helping that person be successful, engaging and aligning your board of directors through the whole process. Spano Pratt doesn't just fill roles. They help you find leaders who truly align with your purpose and mission. Get started at spanopratt.com to begin your search.
Ever wonder what it takes to feel truly wealthy and financially comfortable? Schwab asked Americans that question, and most said at least $2 million. But here's the thing, your number might be different. And that makes sense because your dreams, travel, retirement, and the legacy you want to leave are unique to you. That's why you need advice that's just as personal. The team at Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen and help you build a plan that fits your life. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
8:11, let's check in with Debbie Lazaga on your morning drive.
All right, an accident 894 eastbound right at 60th Street, still off on the right shoulder, causing a little bit of a backup through that area. We've got delays coming in from about 92nd Street to that point. We also still have an accident on 41 southbound, just south of Mayfair Road. The right shoulder is blocked with that one. Backups coming in from just before North Avenue. Southbound 43, going to be a slow ride from just before Hampton down past Capitol Drive. And northbound 4394, watch for delays around the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your Storm Team forecast includes a high of 29 degrees today. Skies mostly sunny, mainly clear tonight, and a low of 17. Back up to a high of 39 for tomorrow. Milwaukee right now at 26.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
8:13 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Glad you are with us on this Wednesday morning. The president and CEO of the Wisconsin Center District is on the record.
I am sorry that this has been a distraction because our organization does great work.
That's Marty Brooks here on WTMJ. His first public comment since the aforementioned distraction. An accusation that he grabbed the butt of the president of the Milwaukee Common Council, Jose Perez. President Perez levying those accusations, even going to police. The real substance is, of course, this ongoing conversation about whether Milwaukee even needs a convention center hotel, and if so, where that should go. We'll get to that in a moment, but first, let's get through it. Wisconsin's Afternoon News, John Mercure and Julia Fellow. Mercure asked Marty Brooks point blank the question.
I need to get this out of the way right at the beginning and ask you this question because the community's talking about it. It's been in the news. Did you grab Common Council President Jose Perez?
I did not do anything that I was alleged of doing.
And we need to point out that you have not been charged with anything. That is a fact.
That is correct.
What do you say to the people who don't believe you?
There was a thorough investigation done by the Milwaukee Police Department that went to the DA's office, who did not press charges. I have consistently said that I did not do anything in Jose Perez's presence. I maintain that position. I am focused on running the WCD and taking us even further into the future with great things ahead of us.
So Marty Brooks there continuing to deny any wrongdoing in that alleged fall encounter at a downtown restaurant. Good follow-up here, and I want to play this for you as well. Okay, you said you didn't do it. Open question then. If it didn't happen...
Why would he say that if it's not true? Why do you believe that he would say that?
I don't have an answer to that question. I certainly have given considerable thought to why am I in this situation. I will tell you that the allegation has been extremely emotional to me. It is, imagine sitting in front of your two daughters' wife just prior to Thanksgiving and saying, hey, I got to have a family meeting.
So Brooks on the record on all of that, asked and answered. I don't know if there's any further that this part of the conversation can go, right?
No, you wouldn't think so, unless there would be any follow-up from the Common Council president.
And he can continue to say it did happen.
Right.
But at this point, with no hard evidence, there's no video to interpret, there's no whatever.
We know there's
at least one witness.
There is an internal investigation by MPD looking into how this may have leaked. We know that the DA has lost an employee, a staff member resigned, right? Because
over leaking out information about this. So as far as, what did or did not transpire between the Common Council president, who is a member of the Wisconsin Center District Board, and the president and CEO, Marty Brooks, I think we're done here. That doesn't mean that people can't have their own opinions about what happened, but I mean, what more can be investigated and found out?
Right.
So I'm ready to get past it, and let's get to that. The recently commissioned study that suggests for the newly expanded Baird Center to be fully successful, Milwaukee needs a 650-plus room hotel in close proximity.
The only conclusion that they made was that the market needs a convention center hotel, period.
So Brooks adamant that the study did not say nor suggest tear down the Miller High Life Theater, tear down the arena. He said, look, what this was those were presented as options in the study. There were other options as well. Those options were graded out. But the purpose was to get the conversation going. So Wisconsin's Afternoon News went in depth on the whole thing. One of the big detractors of building a hotel at all, much less tearing down the High Life Theater, if there's any conversation to be had about that, is Gary Witt. Now, we should point out his outfit, Pabst Theater Group, has some skin in the game. They book the acts at Miller High Life Theater. So he obviously wants to stay in that part of his business. And also doesn't think, never mind that site, doesn't think a hotel is necessary at all.
Unless you're hell-bent on soaking the taxpayers with $400 to $500 million to build a beautiful new hotel, and maybe you guys are, and TMJ thinks that you should possibly do that, or Marty does. But the reality is you could probably spend a third of that money and accomplish the exact same goal.
Just for the record, WTMJ doesn't think anything
No,
about
we don't. Not taking a stand in this.
Right. But to his point, he pointed out, I think they were talking about Columbus. I don't know where I think probably is a metro area smaller than Milwaukee, but maybe city to city right on par.
Pretty
But, you know,
close.
Columbus apparently got a convention that we had hoped that we were going to get. And one of the reasons that it was argued, well, they have more hotels or whatever. And Gary said, well, look at Columbus then. They didn't build a big giant hotel. They added on to a hotel they already had. And he was suggesting, could not we do that with the Marcus property, which is the Hilton that is connected via Skywalk to the convention center right now? Okay, if you're going to argue we need more rooms, do you need to build an entirely new building, or could you work with them to add on? I think you also raised a good point this morning. What about the existing hotels? And not just the ones that are right up next to the Baird Center.
I mean, there's a lot of businesses, a lot of hotels that have put in the work, so to speak, for God knows how long, and then you're kind of pulling the rug a little bit if you were to build this brand new one. Again, just part of the conversation.
There are plenty of hotels that, you know, we've added a number of hotels, generally all smaller, on the smaller end, but some really nice hotels, and they were brought in before the RNC.
And we have another one coming. What's that one? The Moxie or whatever it is?
Yes, also right near
by
Fiserv
Fiserv,
Forum.
yeah.
So the argument being that, look, if you build a brand new hotel and folks are coming into your convention who don't know anything about Milwaukee or whatever, which is great, well, where are they going to stay? They're all going to stay at that hotel, which, great, that benefits the Baird Center, it benefits the hotel, whatever. But if you're one of these further out downtown hotels, or even just outside the downtown or further out in the metro.
Hey, what about us?
Yeah. I think some of those hotel owners would feel like, hey, you're pulling the rug out from under us.
Yeah.
We've been here. We added the rooms you said we needed to add. We're part of the metro. This is supposed to float all of our boats. And if everybody's just going to stay there now in this new shiny object, that doesn't help us.
So this is the conversation the Center District Board would have, right? Isn't that the whole idea?
Exactly what Marty Brooks said.
Looking for information so that I could present to the board, these are options. These are ways for us to grow our market and be better at what we're doing. There was no thumb on a scale. There was no predetermined conclusion. I knew the conclusion of the study when I received it days before it was shared with the board.
A lot of conversations, we should address this as well before some final thoughts. As people have talked about this in the community, people are connected in one way or another to this conversation about Marty Brooks and what was alleged to have happened. I've heard a number of people say out loud, and take this for what it's worth, it's hearsay. Okay, wouldn't be admissible in court, but what I've heard in conversations with people in the know is they are convinced there's an effort to now push Marty out.
It would,
Too big of a distraction, either because of the allegations or because that the study even was commissioned, that the conversation was even started. And so that's just what I'm hearing and what people are talking about. Brooks says that is not his plan.
Will you still be leading the Wisconsin Center District 1 year from now?
I hope so. I have every intention to be.
So all of these conversations on Wisconsin's Afternoon News in depth, you can check them out on the podcast page, WTMJ.com, if you want to listen to all of those. Other voices were brought in. Jim Cantor is the chairman of the board at the Wisconsin Center District. Peggy Williams-Smith is president and CEO of Visit Milwaukee. She chimed in on this as well. So important voices talking about it. If you take Brooks at his word, A, I didn't do it. B, I only commissioned the study so that we would have this conversation that we need to have. And hence we have had, once again, 8:21 on Wisconsin's Morning News. What do you see on the roads here, Deb?
Still dealing with an accident on 41 southbound, just south of Mayfair Road. Backups just heading right across Mayfair, so just be careful with that. Eastbound 94, we got delays from just before 84th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Back on the brakes from Mitchell Boulevard to about 35th Street. Westbound's backed up from 27th to Mitchell Boulevard as well. And southbound 43, watch for backups from before Hampton all the way down past Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Get ready for a big savings haul. Fleet Farm's having another bucket sale. Just pick up a 5-gallon bucket for $3.99 anytime this Monday through Sunday and save 15% on any qualifying items that fit inside. Need paint supplies? New power tools. If you can fit them, you can get them for 15% off. So make your bucket list and head into Fleet Farm's bucket sale, February 23rd through March 1st. And check out all the deals in our weekly ad at fleetfarm.com. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
You're invited. Vince Vitrano here for Colette Vacations. Want you to join us. Southern Italy and Sicily this fall. Our family, my dad's side, they're from Palermo, and that's actually where our tour starts in Sicily. In fact, my dad's going to come along. He's never been, and he even speaks a little bit of Italian, and he's working on it, so he'll help us out. Also on the itinerary, Agrigento's Valley of the Temples, excavated ruins of Pompeii, wine and specialty cuisine, and history, because we have a local guide with us each and every day on the tour, and we don't plan a thing. Colette takes care of all of it. The flight, the meals, the best hotels, amazing local experiences, all taken care of by my team at Colette. My wife, Nicole, and I, and Joe Vitrano, too, would love to have you join us. The trip's coming up in late October, and let's get in touch. Send me an email, vince@WTMJ.com. That's vince@WTMJ.com. I will send you a brochure. It's got beautiful pictures, but also a day-by-day breakdown of the itinerary, even your all-in cost and options, traveling to southern Italy and Sicily with WTMJ and Colette.
Recalculating route. Estimated arrival time. Never.
For people with nasal congestion, snoring, or sleep apnea, finding a solution feels like a never-ending road trip.
First stop, my primary doctor. Then the pharmacy. Then a sleep specialist. Then an ENT.
What if there was just one destination for all your problems?
Welcome to Advent, Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care in one location. Over 95% of patients with severe nasal breathing issues report improvement. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
You have arrived at Clear Breathing.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
All right, I knew you'd feel better if I let that roll. You want me to keep just stay quiet?
Just listening along.
The key to Vince's heart is to allow him to listen to the music just a little bit
Just a little bit. Let it ramp. Give me a ramp a little bit. A little
okay.
taste.
All right. All right, that's long enough. Survivor returns tonight on CBS. This is Survivor 50.
Unbelievable.
It's been around for 50 seasons, or 50, what would you call them? Not episodes.
I think it's 25. Like they've done two
25
Survivor
years
series
right.
a year, right?
So there's always been this talk that, like, okay, it's not real. It's not this, they're living on an island or wherever they're staying, but is it really that big of a deal? Are there a bunch of cameras there and people with food and all that? Well, Andrea Belke, you might know the name. She's a Random Lake native. She was on the show 3 different times. And she was on What's on Tap with Sandy Max, and she says, no, everything is real.
Besides the fact that there are cameras around you, it is so real. There's other reality shows out there, they will kind of, implant drama. But Survivor, I mean, you're starving. You're with all these crazy characters. You're trying to win $1 million. You don't have any sleep. You have rats running across you at night. They don't have to really create any drama.
So, okay, I can respect that a little bit. All right. I love that idea of, like, if you take away sleep and food, you're going to get the result you're looking for. And she kind of mentioned that.
I always tell people when they think it's not real, I'm like, okay, go 2 full days without eating and then be with, like, your aunt or uncle that you don't like. And then also throw in, like, tons of money.
That's what I say. And eye
a
on the
challenge.
price.
And then you also don't sleep at all. So you don't even have to create any drama. It's just going to happen.
Okay. So that makes sense.
I do think that's interesting. Now, in terms of whether it's actually reality, right? If they're not making it up, that's one thing. Okay. Asked and answered.
Yep.
But I've always suggested that reality TV, we don't actually have reality TV because when you know you're on camera,
You're different.
It alters your behavior, right?
Yes, that's true. Unless you forget the cameras are there.
Well, there is that.
Kind of like us in this room sometimes.
Like she said, you go on 48 hours no sleep, you forget a lot of stuff.
Also, TV news tonight. This is I can't imagine. There's 2 broadcast network stories breaking in one day. It's amazing. Like that usually stream, everything is cable now and all this, but ABC, a popular show that went off the air 15 years ago, is back.
I'm no Superman.
Scrubs returns. So Scrubs is the Zach Braff hospital show. Kind of quirky. It's always been kind of fun. My wife and I watched this. We binged this a long time ago. We loved this show when we were kids. By kids, I mean in our 20s. My fear, though, is when you bring back a show like this. See, he was always kind of quirky and weird and fun and all that, and like daydreamed and all that. Like, is he going to be the same? Because, like, he's a grown man now. He's 50. So is this like, like when Screech was older? Like, when Saved by the Bell got into its later years and Screech was still acting like Screech, even though he's like a dude and 20-something years old.
Yeah.
It just didn't. It seems strange.
Didn't hit for you?
I'm worried that that's what Zach Braff is going to try to do. He's a 50-year-old man trying to act like he's 22 again.
You got kind of a taste, though. Like, those two still do commercials and all that.
You're right. That's a good point.
The characters have been around still.
Good point. All right, well, we'll see. Scrubs, returning.
Superman.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature, sponsored by the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. February is Heart Month, a time to focus on heart health and awareness. Heart valve disease is one condition that can impact your heart health, impacting about 5 million Americans every year. Here to tell us more is Jeremiah Depta, a Freighter and Medical College of Wisconsin interventional cardiologist. Doctor, what is heart valve disease?
Heart valves are one-way doors that help to keep blood flowing in the right direction through your heart. The heart has 4 valves: aortic, mitral, pulmonary, and tricuspid. And when heart valve disease happens, that means that one or more of these valves do not open or close properly.
Doctor, can you tell us more about the tricuspid valve and why it's so important?
So the tricuspid valve is critical to heart healthy function. And in the past, it was referred to as the forgotten valve, just due to the limited options for treatment. But when patients have issues with their tricuspid valve, either by it leaking too much or being too narrowed, it can cause blood to flow backward, leading to swelling in the legs and abdomen. It can cause patients to feel fatigue or shortness of breath, and eventually will lead to heart failure or even death. Given the complex anatomy of the tricuspid valve, it can be very difficult to treat.
And doctor, what treatment options are available?
The treatment options available are many. We have heart and vascular experts that offer the entire spectrum of care for valve disease treatment, including managing the symptoms of medications, as well as non-surgical or minimally invasive options to repair or replace the heart valve. Our team has made remarkable progress. We have a variety of minimally invasive procedures rather than patients undergoing open heart surgery, which was the standard of treatment for many years. It's really important to understand these minimally invasive options offer significant benefits, including faster recovery time, less discomfort, and make it more suitable for patients regardless of age.
For more information on heart health, freighter.com/heart.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests.
That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The Economy Awards and Iran all wrapped up in the longest State of the Union speech ever. ABC's Rachel Scott was in the room for President Trump's address.
About 90 minutes in, the president turning briefly to Iran, at some points drawing bipartisan praise.
But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen.
But the president doing little to explain why the U.S. may strike Iran, calling the country an urgent threat, even as he insists U.S. strikes obliterated the country's nuclear program last year.
There are new allegations from some congressional Democrats who now say the Justice Department has withheld releasing some of the Epstein files that have allegations in there against the president. The 20-year-old who says social media giants got her addicted to their feeds is expected to take the stand in the landmark trial soon in Los Angeles. She's suing Meta and YouTube. This is ABC News.
We do have a crash on 894 eastbound on the ramp from 60th Street, so be careful with that. Delays basically coming in from about 84th Street all the way to that point. We've also got a crash southbound 41 just past Mayfair Road. Looks like that one should be getting cleared up soon. Still have backups all the way back to North Avenue. Southbound on 43, heavy from before Hampton down past Capitol Drive. And then eastbound 94, you got backups from before 84th Street to Hawley Road. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Sunshine and a high of 29 degrees today, mainly clear. Lows of 17 overnight. Thursday's high back up to 39. Milwaukee right now at 23. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, new safety measures coming to some schools in Kenosha. The Unified School District Board approved a new policy that will put metal detectors in the 6 high schools. Comes after 2 incidents earlier this month, one involving a 16-year-old student who was arrested for bringing a gun to Bradford High. Many parents spoke in favor of the safety measures.
I support metal detectors because they enhance the safety of our kids from possible violence. Without them, individuals can potentially sneak in weapons and cause harm or more. Parents should never have to be worried to be sending their kids to school. There is nothing more important in this life than our children's safety.
In addition to walk-through metal detectors, the district also approved handheld wands and a revised visitor policy.
Fees for retrofitting sprinkler systems in Milwaukee apartment buildings could be waived under a new ordinance. Alderman Peter Burgell is pushing the legislation in response to several large fires at city apartments that did not have sprinkler systems.
The city should be able to lend a helping hand to these landlords and property owners to help encourage them to do so.
Now, under state law, buildings constructed before 1973 are not required to have a sprinkler system installed.
$20 an hour for the minimum wage. Another push to increase Wisconsin's minimum wage. Democrats introducing a bill that would raise wages to $15 an hour, going up to $20 an hour by 2030. State Representative Angelina Cruz.
For nearly 2 decades, wages have stood still while rent, groceries, healthcare costs, energy bills have soared. This bill ensures that work once again pays enough to live.
In the past, Republicans have argued that raising the state's minimum wage could hurt small businesses.
Tragedy leads to a postponement in Milwaukee. The scheduled Steve Martin Short show at Milwaukee's Miller High Life Theater this Friday, now postponed. Multiple outlets reporting that Martin Short's eldest daughter, Catherine Hartley Short, has died. Of 42 years old, she died of suicide. The Pabst Theater Group says tickets for that show will be honored at a rescheduled date, which has yet to be rescheduled.
Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average, just minutes off the opening bell, is up 166 points to 49,340. S&P 500 at 6925. That was up 35. And the NASDAQ at 23,028 is up 165 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:36.
Coming up, Erik, we know the name.
Oh, fantastic.
There is a name for the new West Allis and Wauwatosa combined fire departments. Should I even give you a hint?
Wauwatosa.
8:36 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Enjoy a free dinner this week at the historic Fox and Hounds, one of the most unique and affordable supper clubs in Wisconsin. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Fox and Hounds, one of my very favorite places. You will enjoy fabulous food and 90 years of history in the gorgeous stone and timber building. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free every single night, free. Seafood, choice steaks, short ribs, a real favorite, pasta, prime rib Wednesday and Saturday, even the steak and lobster. Your second dinner is always free. Desserts and ice cream drinks. Buy one, get one free. I love that chocolate cake with the extra ice cream. Unwind with an old-fashioned, a Manhattan, 20 bourbons to choose from, 100 wines from around the world. Wherever you live, it's worth the spectacular drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest for your free dinner. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill, escape from your kitchen with a free dinner this week. Man, that sounds great. Call and reserve, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Milwaukee Weight Loss. This Valentine's month, Milwaukee Weight Loss is sharing the love with $300 off their Valentine's sale now through February 28th. It's the perfect time to fall in love with their results-getting Milwaukee Weight Loss program. They know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no counting points or calories, no drugs, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects. Whether you want to look great for the Valentine's Day or for an upcoming event, do what I'm doing. Join me on this journey to lose weight and get down to where I need to be or where you need to be. Show yourself some love with $300 off, but hurry, the Valentine's sale ends February 28th. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Call now for your free consultation at 262-449-1180. That's 262-449-1180 or visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
This is really all about agendas.
Unfinished business is the topic.
Unfinished business is created in any one of three ways.
Agenda item on Wisconsin's Morning News. This is unfinished business, but it appears to largely be finished this morning. We told you for some time that the suburbs of West Dallas and Wauwatosa were looking for greater efficiency in their fire and rescue operations. Something I continue to encourage more municipalities to engage in, right?
It's at least worth considering.
Tight budget times, can we achieve cost savings without a reduction in service? So West Dallas and Wauwatosa, both those suburbs now giving the green light to merge their fire and rescue operations.
Both the West Dallas and Wauwatosa Common Councils approving the merger during their meetings Tuesday night. Wauwatosa Fire Chief James Case.
And so we know this is a big change and a big ask that we're looking to do. But it's one of those things we feel strongly we have to do at this point because both cities, both fire departments, our budgets continue to be impacted.
A study last year found the merger could save both cities around $7 million. Fire officials from both cities say no cuts are expected from the merger. The plan calls for a 10-year contract with service starting this April. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Okay, ask your question, Eric.
Well, we were curious about what the name of the new fire department would be, and I was pushing for Wauwatosa. I'm sorry, Wauwastallis.
Wauwastallis.
Messing up my own
Wauwastallis Fire and Rescue.
Yeah, or maybe Westosa could be an opportunity there, and you were pushing for...
No, I was saying that whatever it was going to be, you would be disappointed, and I said it was going to either be Suburban Fire or West Suburban Fire.
So you know the name. I don't know the name.
I'm more right than you are.
No.
Okay. Are you ready?
I wanted it to be fun.
I know you did, and I told you it wasn't going to be, and it's not, but it's fine. From both the cities of West Dallas and Wauwatosa this morning, This is their statement moving forward with the creation of a joint fire department, which will be named Milwaukee Metro Fire Rescue. Now, we should point out, it is not incumbent upon them to come up with a flashy name. It doesn't matter, right? If I'm the fire chief at these places or anything, what do we care? Other than what the emblem looks like, okay?
But by calling it Milwaukee
Metro Fire Rescue.
Interesting.
I wonder.
I like it better than what you were suggesting.
Yeah.
What you wanted it to be.
Here's
West Suburban.
I didn't want it to be. I wanted it to be fun or something just really off the wall, but it was not. It is Milwaukee Metro Fire Rescue. Here's something to keep in mind. By not calling it Wawastalis or whatever other
Westosa.
Yeah, combining those names, do you leave the door open for perhaps others to join?
Oh.
West Dallas abuts with Hales Corners.
Yep. That's a great point.
Bring Hales Corners in. What about West Milwaukee? Some of the smaller spots. So by broadening out the name and keeping the names of the two municipalities who are in on it so far, do you also open the opportunity for others to join?
So what I'm reading here about the Fire McFireface department, that's not real?
That is not true. Was there any suggestion?
That's not accurate?
At least they didn't open it up to the internet. Right. For sure, Truckee McTruckface and...
all of them would have been great.
That is terrible.
Milwaukee Metro Fire Rescue. There you go, Deb.
Okay. We'll go with that.
So let it be written.
So let it be done. Okay. We do have a crash westbound 94 just past Highway 100 off on both shoulders, so just be careful with that. Other than that, the only other accident is going to be the one on the ramp from 60th Street to 894 eastbound. Again, not really affecting the main line. That's moving along just fine. We're seeing delays eastbound 94 from about 84th Street to Holly Road. Westbound just slowing down through the stadium. And then on southbound 43, backing up just before Hampton all the way to Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Half of American parents cannot afford diapers. Hi, this is WTMJ's Kristen Bry. This spring, WTMJ and the Milwaukee Diaper Mission are teaming up to change that. Join me for WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies, where we will raise funds for Milwaukee Diaper Mission. Register to bowl with us on March 7th at Village Bowl in Menominee Falls. Registration is now open. Go to WTMJCares.com to sign up. Act quickly, teams will fill up fast. It's WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies to help the Milwaukee Diaper Mission.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem, and I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who will tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Time to head to Arizona. Spring training is underway for the Milwaukee Brewers. Joining us as he does every morning this week, covering the Brewers in Arizona, is Brewers Extra Innings host Dom Catronio. So, Dom, I'm going to play something for you. I'm sure you'll be able to hear it, and if you can't, you'll know what I'm doing here. Is this real? That is The Miz throwing a baseball at an apple that's sitting on the top of a minor leaguer's head. It's a video that has gone viral. It's exploded. That was not real, was it?
What do you mean? What? Everything on the internet's real, right? I mean, like, well, it's not real? What about Santa? What are you trying to tell me next?
Easy.
Hey, easy to say also just some minor leaguer. That's Cooper Pratt. That's one of the top shortstop prospects in the Brewers system, and he could be in the big leagues in the next 2 years. But it's been quite a week for the Brewers social media team, right? Between the South Frelick video game and now this one. And they just do a great job, man. And this goes back years. This goes back to like the Sandlot video and the Mean Girls skit and just all the stuff they've done over the years. And I can assure you there was some very, very, very sharp editing. No, Jacob Mizrowski's going to throw 100 miles an hour at the back of a kid's head. Like, no, that's crazy. But I can also assure you, no AI. And it's just really talented people who know what to do.
Okay, I'll give you that. I agree. They are on point. Social media there for the Brewers is on point right now.
No prospects were injured in the recording of this video. Dom, I appreciate the personal X shout out yesterday as you posted the Brewers getting their first win of this Cactus League season. You know, Murph's joked in the past about the goal here is not to win the Cactus League crown, but Eric's made fun of me for wanting our team to get at least a win here. And I just said, like I know it doesn't matter, but I'd still rather win than not win.
Yeah, so yesterday was just a good game. I mean, they played well. Little things are doing well. In fact, the one thing that didn't really make it into my wrap that I really wanted to try to find a way to get it was Bryce Terang had a 14-pitch battle that ended in a walk in that in an inning that led to Tyler Black having a 2-run homer. And it was just like, yeah, that's what we're talking about. In February, you know, where Bryce Terang, who's getting ready to go to Team USA, is able to work a 14-pitch battle, fouling pitches off, and he was behind 0-2 very quickly. And then it was 1-2, and then he fouls off 5 more, and then it's 2-2, and the crowd's getting into it, and it's just like, yeah, that's something that you just go there and smile. I'm like, man, he's already doing that in February. You know, you could say, oh, his timing's off. That's why it took 14 pitches, but he didn't strike out, and he was patient enough to work the walks. So a good sign for Bryce Terang and Team USA.
Oftentimes for the NFL, like during mini camps or different things, they'll have like a team day where they all go bowling or do something fun like that. Is there anything like that? Do they do any like team bonding type events like that?
So it's funny. We talked about this yesterday with Pat Murphy of just like, is there something about camaraderie? Is there something about this clubhouse that you guys facilitate? He actually credited Team Traveling Secretary Dan Loretta to help out with some of that stuff. But they also admitted, we're going to wait on some of this until after the WBC, given you don't want to rush it right in the beginning when everyone's getting back into game mode. But the guys do it on their own, too. There's always golf. There's always, you know, the guys playing dominoes or whatever it may be. So the team-facilitated camaraderie stuff, that will come later in the spring.
Dom, I wonder, this is maybe a more complex answer than you'd care to give at 8:49 a.m. on a Wednesday, but I'm just curious how Murph goes through and decides, like, how do you decide which guys you play on which day? Some days it's split squad. Who needs the work? Where do you do it? Like, what sort of methodology goes into this whole larger plan for spring?
Yeah, so we talked about this with Murph a couple of days ago with, do you want more off days in spring training? Do you want fewer games? Like, how do you balance getting the pitchers ready? Because that's the number one priority of every team spring training. Get your starting pitchers ready. But then, you know, you don't want to run your position players ragged and all this stuff. So the way he looked at it is that, you know, just because the schedule says game day, there will be guys that it's you stretch and you work out and you come in and you like do your team meeting, and then it's an off day for you. So it's like, right now, the Brewers are, I believe, playing like 8 or 9 straight days with a game until Monday's off day. And then they play Team GB on Tuesday. Like, not a lot of the big leaguers are going to play in that game either. So there are opportunities for off days that they manufacture themselves. And there's a whole, you know, sports medicine department that helps keep track of all that stuff. There's every tracker known to man that you can have between, you know, the system like Catapult, the system like Whoop has, where you keep an eye on these players, making sure they're not redlining it in February. But yes, that is on top of mind of keeping guys' schedules of position players specifically, like Just because the schedule says there's a game doesn't mean they're not necessarily playing.
WTMJ's Dom Catronio, live from Arizona, where we have Brewers baseball this afternoon. We got Brewers and Giants right here on WTMJ Radio. Thank you, Dom.
Thank you, guys.
8:51 on Wisconsin's Morning News. That's a 2:10 start, first pitch. We'll have our coverage begin at 2 o'clock here on WTMJ.
One more time before 9 on the roads. Debbie.
Okay, well, on eastbound 94, we've got delays from just before 84th Street all the way to almost Hawley Road. The westbound side's backing up just before 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43, a little tight there from just before Capitol Drive down towards Locust. And we do still have this accident on the ramp from 60th Street to 894 eastbound. Not on the main line, it's on the ramp, but just something to keep in mind if you're heading through that area. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
This is former Wisconsin Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen with a message for my fellow conservatives about online sports betting. Online sports betting is fun. It protects kids against illegal gambling websites, and it generates billions in tax revenue. But today, Madison politicians are considering a secret deal that could give exclusive control of sports betting to one Indian tribe. One Indian tribe making the majority of all the revenue? Our Constitution requires a vote of the people on expanded sports betting, but Madison insiders want secrecy. What's worse, their plan could leave Governor Evers the sole power to negotiate with the tribes. Madison politicians want to bypass our state constitution, and it could mean less accountability with control concentrated with one Indian tribe. Tell Madison, no secret deal on online sports betting. Paid for by Sports Betting Alliance.
It's Vitrano for Shopco Optical, where I got my annual vision check and a new pair of glasses in just days. Well into the new year already, let's make sure you got a plan for using your HSA dollars that you're squirreling away and for fully utilizing your insurance benefits. Start to finish, that full exam, the consultation, picking out and purchasing the frames took me less than an hour. I go out to the office that's in Hales Corners, that's nearest my house, but there are locations all over southeast Wisconsin. And then less than a week out, my new glasses were ready, custom lenses, built for my vision. The difference is real. I see so much better for reading now. Insurance covered so much of the cost. Visit the folks I know and trust for my eye care. Call Shopco Optical for the whole family or get started online at shopco.com.
If you can't handle the noise, just stay home.
Rollins bounces off the defense of Zion, drives inside, lays it in with a foul. Ryan Rollins just keeps coming at you.
The Bucks face off against the Cavaliers at Fiserv Forum.
Ryan Rollins looking like a Harlem Globetrotter.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
8:55 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Taste of Spring returns on Friday. Friday's high temperature, 54 degrees. Skies will be mostly sunny as well. On the negative side of the ledger, it will be windy. You know, when we pop those nice warmer days, it always seems to be accompanied with some pretty strong winds.
Right.
That's Friday. Today, we've got a high of 29 degrees. Skies will be mostly sunny, so you start to feel the warmth of that sunshine. But our air temperature will remain colder, high of 29, 17 the low tonight. Thursday, partly cloudy with a high of 39. Again, 54 on Friday.
They're getting another round of snow back east. Millions still digging out from the record-breaking stuff they saw on Monday. Still got a lot of people without power and more snow coming.
The blizzard hit airports hard. More than 2,000 flights were canceled Tuesday alone, with thousands more delayed. On the roads, authorities are warning drivers to clear snow and ice from their vehicles, saying chunks that fly off can cause dangerous distractions and even serious damage.
So they got about 150,000 people at least without power. That's ABC's Sophie Flay there. Northeast woke up to more snow, not another couple of feet, but a little bit that obviously during the morning commute that's already been a bit stressed this week didn't help. Looks like go out through the middle of the day, afternoon roadways are just going to be wet. They are above freezing, so that'll be helpful as they try to continue to dig out from where some areas saw 3 feet of snow.
That's one of the worst things when we get our big snow, right? We get a foot or whatever it is, and you shovel it all off, and then the next day or the day after that, you get another few inches, and you're like, where do I put this? Because your big snow pile at the end of the driveway is already there.
You're at that point where there's no place for it to go.
I mean, the worst is when you get a shovel full and you have to actually carry it a few steps to toss it into an area that's not currently occupied by a 3-foot snowbank. So insult to injury there out east. 8:57, top of the hour news next on News Radio 620 WTMJ.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Harley-Davidson is returning as a Summerfest sponsor this year, 5 years after it took a break from the festival. The motorcycle maker's major focus will be on the July 4th celebration of America's anniversary. One of the largest homes in River Hills is back on the market, 3 years after it sold for $2.5 million. The sprawling riverfront mansion on 6.7 acres is being listed for $3.75 million. Tariffs have been a death sentence for some small and mid-sized companies, the head of the National Association of Manufacturers said while visiting Milwaukee this week. While larger companies were better positioned to absorb the hit from the tariffs, smaller players lack the necessary resources. I'm Timothy Gibbons with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Car Edge. The stress of car buying is finally a thing of the past. Car Edge negotiates with local dealerships for you, keeping your personal info private. With an average of 20-plus years of dealership experience, Car Edge experts know every trick in the book, saving you time and money. No sales calls, no wasted hours playing games at a dealership, just the best deal on the car you want. WTMJ fans get 20% off. Call 414-667-7413 or visit caredge.com/WTMJ for a free no-obligation consultation today.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
It's starting to feel a lot like springtime.
Off and running, huh? We are off and running.
Bye-bye baseball. William Contreras admired half at the wall. It's gone!
Brewers baseball is back. It's a Cactus League matchup between the Brewers and the Giants. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 2. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
9 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Wednesday, February 25th, our top story, speaking out after public allegations.
I'm Erik. Bilstad. Tourists finally making it home.
High temperature of 29 today. Skies mostly sunny. Mainly clear overnight, low down to 17, and Thursday's high 39 degrees in your Storm Team forecast. Right now, we're at 26, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center. A WTMJ exclusive, Wisconsin Center District President and CEO Marty Brooks maintaining his innocence. He was accused of a sexual assault. In his first public comments since the allegations came to light,
I have nothing to hide.
Brooks said the allegations levied against him by Milwaukee Common Council President Jose Perez have taken an emotional toll on himself and his family.
Imagine sitting in front of your two daughters' wife just prior to Thanksgiving and saying, hey, I got to have a family meeting.
No charges were ever filed against Brooks. His comments came amid a larger discussion about a study recommending a convention center hotel be built in downtown Milwaukee. Brooks tells WTMJ any allegations he knew the results of the study beforehand are false.
My objective was to get information to present to the board so we could look towards the future, period.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
New security measures are moving forward in Kenosha Unified Schools. Metal detectors will be used.
Tuesday night, the Kenosha School Board approved metal detectors at all 6 district high schools. The move comes after recent gun-related arrests involving Bradford High School students. Superintendent Dr. Jeffrey Weiss says safety is a shared responsibility.
This past Friday, a team from KUSD traveled to Hamilton High School in Milwaukee to watch their weapon detection procedures in action. We were able to see the item on tonight's board agenda, the CHEA Open Gates System in action. Children deserve to feel safe and supported.
Parents are urging the approved policies to expand throughout the entire district. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
President Trump addressing tensions between the U.S. and Iran. In Tuesday's State of the Union speech, the president insisting he prefers a diplomatic solution. ABC's Ian Pannell is in Tel Aviv.
It remains to be seen if the president has actually done enough to persuade Americans and allies to get behind a potential military attack. Meanwhile, as this build-up continues, around a dozen F-22 fighter jets landing here in Israel as we wait to see the outcome of those crucial talks in Geneva.
More talks between the U.S. and Iran scheduled for tomorrow.
Tourists in Mexico remain on edge after violence erupted following the killing of a top cartel boss over the weekend.
If you've already made a trip plan, obviously keep a close eye on the situation. Look at your travel insurance if you bought that, and check the State Department's travel advisory for Americans. Of course, call your airline to ask about any travel waivers.
ABC's Gio Benitez this morning. Shelter-in-place orders for American tourists have been lifted.
In addition now to the $1 million reward being offered for information that leads to the recovery of their mother, Nancy Guthrie, the Guthrie family says they are also donating $500,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, hoping the attention on their mother will extend all missing persons cases. The center's executive director, Callahan Walsh, on ABC.
My father and I co-host America's Most Wanted, and we've been relying on the public for years to catch the worst of the worst. 17 guys off the FBI's top 10 most wanted list, nearly 1,200 fugitives, and the reward is absolutely helpful.
The 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, she's been missing now 24 days.
A Milwaukee police officer allegedly misusing department technology now faces charges.
According to a criminal complaint, 33-year-old Josue Ayala is accused of using the department's Flock Technology license plate tracking system to check on the whereabouts of 2 people for personal reasons. Prosecutors say Ayala ran the license plate of one victim over 120 times and a second victim over 50 times. Ayala faces 1 count of attempted misconduct in public office. If convicted, he could face up to 9 months in prison and a $10,000 fine. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announcing nominees for the class of 2026.
New addition, Shakira, Pink, Melissa Etheridge, and Lauryn Hill are among 10 first-timers. Luther Vandross and Phil Collins are newbies, too. The third time could be the charm for Mariah Carey, Iron Maiden, Joy Division, New Order, and Oasis. Second-time nominees, the Black Crowes, Billy Idol, and Sade. New members will be announced in April. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
All right, so that's in your head now.
You're welcome.
News about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Right now, the Dow is up 104. The NASDAQ up more than 1%. It's up 260. The S&P is up 37.
Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time, 9:05.
Raise your hand if you're excited about feeling older faster than you should. Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scavidi. Yeah, I didn't think so. Ongoing pain makes you feel older than you are, but here's the good news. QC Kinetics patients right here in Milwaukee are getting relief, like me, feeling younger, hope so, jumping back into life full speed, and it didn't happen in an operating room. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics, medical professionals all the way, use the latest regenerative treatments backed by real science, treatments that take the tiny, powerful healing tools inside your own body, concentrate them right where you need relief. That's how. Let's say Mike is training for a marathon instead of giving up running. Kathy walked around Disney with her grandkids. Alan's back to work, now climbing ladders, no big deal. All real QC Kinetics patients. The sooner you start with treatment, the sooner inflammation eases and the sooner joint damage slows down, because no one signs up for feeling older faster. Find out if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. Your visit and consultation is free. 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559.
Get ready for a big savings haul. Fleet Farm's having another bucket sale. Just pick up a 5-gallon bucket for $3.99 anytime this Monday through Sunday and save 15% on any qualifying items that fit inside. Need paint supplies? New power tools. If you can fit them, you can get them for 15% off. So make your bucket list and head into Fleet Farm's bucket sale, February 23rd through March 1st. And check out all the deals in our weekly ad at fleetfarm.com. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Skylight Music Theater presents The Spitfire Grill, a heartfelt Wisconsin-born musical of redemption and second chances. This 25th anniversary production features a 5-piece band. The Spitfire Grill, February 27th through March 15th. Tickets at skylightmusictheater.org. Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at amazonbusiness.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update for the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Milwaukee Bucks at home once again tonight. It's a back-to-back. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers in town, coming off a 128-117 victory over the Heat on Tuesday.
Because this is a big response for us. This is what we haven't done this year. We'll, get a nice stretch of games going, and then we'll lose, and then the next game we kind of give in again. And tonight, there were stretches where we could have gave in, and we didn't.
We'll have coverage of the Bucks tonight. That was head coach Doc Rivers, beginning at 6:30 here on WTMJ. Before that, spring training baseball, Brewers and Giants this afternoon, with coverage beginning at 2 o'clock for the 2:10 first pitch. Men's college basketball, Marquette with its first road win of the season as they took down Georgetown 76-60. UW-Milwaukee hosting Youngstown State tonight, 7 p.m. at UWM Panther Arena, and Wisconsin out of town on the West Coast facing Oregon. That's a late tip, 10 o'clock tonight in Eugene. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. No real issues on the roads right now. The only one problem we're seeing here is 894 eastbound. So on the on-ramp from 60th Street to 894 eastbound, there's a crash there. So that's got some cars in the way. But otherwise, looking fairly good on the roadways at the moment.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Skies mostly sunny today and a breezy high of just 29. Low down to 17 tonight. Thursday, we'll get the high temperature up to 39 under partly cloudy skies. Friday, mostly sunny, windy, and a high of 54. Chance of some light snow on Saturday. Saturday's high 33, and only 29 for the high on Sunday, with skies partly cloudy. Right now in Milwaukee, we're at 28.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Ten at Wisconsin's Morning News. Want to get to some of the remarks from President Trump in his State of the Union address. And another thing I want to talk about is curious why the president isn't taking the show on the road. Typically, you would see presidents off the State of the Union address hitting on similar points, might even use some of the same refrains from that State of the Union as they go to this swing state or that swing state, sort of a campaign style.
Yeah.
Use the momentum of the State of the Union to continue that conversation. So we'll get into that here in a moment. But first, some new information. I don't know if I call this breaking news, but it's certainly new information in the tangential effects of the Jeffrey Epstein files being released.
So among the names that has popped up and circulated in the Epstein files as they've been released, Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates. Well, Gates is now admitting that he had 2 affairs with Russian women while he was married to his ex-wife, to Melinda French Gates. And he is now apologizing for his links to Epstein. Now, Gates, according to the Wall Street Journal, told staffers at his foundation on Tuesday that he did fly on a private plane with Epstein, spent time with him in the U.S. and abroad, but he says he didn't participate in any crimes. I did nothing illicit. I saw nothing illicit, Gates said to his staff. To be clear, I never spent any time with the victims, the women around him. These guys first met back in 2011. Apparently, it's interesting. He did say, he's like, yeah, Melissa knew something wasn't right. He talks about his ex-wife saying that she's like, that guy is not right. Like, she could tell that Epstein was who he was. But in all of this, he did have these 2 affairs. And Gates admits that. He says, I had affairs, one with a Russian bridge player who met me at bridge events, and one with a Russian nuclear physicist who I met through business activities.
So he's saying he's coming clean about these affairs, but saying that those were unrelated to his relationship with Epstein?
Meaning that they had nothing to do with underage trafficking or that. Now, Epstein apparently had threatened Gates over these affairs. Perhaps like some type of blackmail there. Like Epstein knew about these. So maybe that's part of the connection there. But yeah, so he's admitting to the affairs. He's apologizing to his staff. He admits that his wife, his ex-wife, knew that something was not right. She was leery of Epstein. To give her credit, she was always kind of skeptical about the Epstein thing, Gates says.
So this is a pattern that we're seeing now in people who were previously said to be in the Epstein files, linked to the Epstein files before we actually saw any of them.
Yeah.
And their initial mea culpas were, well, I knew him, but nothing really happened here and nothing really. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, I flew on the plane, but I didn't.
Right.
And now what we're seeing is now that the information is coming out and there are smoking guns for some of the people, now there's, well, also now the whole truth
right.
is coming out. And you have to think they must have thought that none of that other stuff was ever going to get out. Otherwise, why don't you just come clean when it's first alleged or when people first start asking you about it? And they must have thought, well, I can say a little bit that acknowledges what's sort of already out there, but doesn't get me into too much more trouble because nobody's ever going to find out about any of that other stuff.
Isn't it amazing, though? Like, I remember when news of that divorce, when she first filed divorce, that was a surprise. Everyone was like, whoa, what happened here? And look how much we've learned over the course of since that was filed, I don't know, a couple of years ago now. Learn a lot about a lot of people real quickly, and the Epstein files certainly do that.
And Gates just the latest. The president, meanwhile, remaining in Washington today, as I suggested, following the longest State of the Union address on record. A moment of unity in the House chamber.
You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
Apologize for the audio there, but there were a couple of moments, as we say in the business, Mike was overmodulated.
Yep, a little hot.
A little hot Mike. Yes. The president there introducing Team USA Hockey. I was right on this one, I said what you got to do is you got to bring them all out. You don't bring just the brothers and have them seated. You parade them out.
Yeah, you're right. I thought it'd just be like the Hughes brothers sitting next to each other. Right. No, yes. All of them.
They were all there in their sweaters.
Getting presidential of freedom medals.
Right. It was awards night for sure at the State of the Union as well. So, of course, the U.S. hockey team coming off their dramatic win over Canada. Down to some business.
Mr. Speaker!
Mr. Speaker!
Mr. Speaker! The President of the United States!
Joined earlier on Wisconsin's Morning News by ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers. She is in Washington this morning. A lot to get to, but first, I was looking at the president's schedule for today. He's got policy meetings. He's sticking around the White House. Don't presidents often take the show on the road right off the State of the Union, right? They visit swing states or whatever?
They normally do. There's that traditional campaign travel within the next day or two to say, and I just announced X, Y, and Z proposals, and I am here in Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, all the, key states heading into an election season to tout those policy proposals, get in front of everyday Americans. He's not doing that today or tomorrow or Friday. So, it's a different style for this president. We'll see if we see him today or if he stays behind closed doors. He is expected to, based on the schedule, not have any public events. In some ways, they kind of like to let that moment stand last night and let the clips play out all day and let that be the social media moments because the president carefully crafted a lot of those moments last night. It was the longest State of the Union address, and the message was, as you guys noted, that, there's winning going on right now. And to hear the president tell it, everything is great. He said the country is winning again. It's the golden age of America. Things are bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before. And the roaring economy is roaring like never before. But we have talked about this going into this speech, that polls are not indicating that Americans feel that same way. That, he's facing his highest disapproval rating so far since taking office for the second time. And when you drill down on some of the main key issues, Americans are not liking his policies and confident in what he's doing going forward. So he had a challenge last night of trying to make a sales pitch, but instead I think he didn't really make the sales pitch about new policy proposals. It's just, trust me, everything is great, and let's talk about all the winning that's going on. And here's a perfect example, the hockey team. I'm going to give out some medals. And he created these, pretty powerful video moments that will be playing all day.
Karen Travers is with us live from the White House, ABC News White House correspondent. He did have that showdown moment, Karen, to a degree that we talked about yesterday, maybe less dramatic than we had anticipated, but he did address the Supreme Court justices who were there for striking down many of his unilateral tariffs.
Yeah, he did. It was much less dramatic than I think people were anticipating. He was certainly face-to-face with two of the justices who had said that the sweeping tariffs were unconstitutional, Chief Justice John Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett, who he nominated to the Supreme Court. He shook their hands. This comes after days of launching personal attacks at them. But when he talked about the ruling, he said it was unfortunate. It was a very unfortunate ruling. He also said he's not going to Congress to try to move forward with his tariffs, that he's going to try a different authority and that congressional action isn't necessary. But as we've talked about, he does need Congress after 150 days or else these tariffs can't continue. So we'll see what happens in a couple of months.
And we did hear from the Democrats afterward, the Virginia governor talking affordability.
Yeah, that was a big part of Abigail Spanberger, the governor of Virginia's message, affordability, saying Democrats should be running on the economy. And she kind of boiled down her speech to a couple of key things. Is the president's agenda and policies, are they working for you? And went through and talked about what he's been doing on the economy. And, I think that's going to be a message we hear from Democrats over the next 8 months as we head into the midterm election season. She also was really tough on the immigration enforcement aspect of his policy agenda. He talked about that and defended those policies, notably did not specifically talk about Minneapolis, didn't mention Renee Good or Alex Preddy, the two Americans that were obviously killed in Minneapolis. And that was a moment where there was a lot of contentious back and forth with some of the Democrats in the audience there. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar yelling at him that he has killed Americans, and he yelled back that she should be ashamed of herself.
ABC's White House correspondent Karen Travers live with us with that wrap-up this morning. Thank you, Karen.
Have a great day.
We should point out, again, I was interested that the president was, and I thought Karen made an interesting point that, our evolution of messaging might be that why would you go out the day after what you and your team think was a very powerful State of the Union with all these images and all this stuff and the things that you worked for so long and so hard on? Why wouldn't you let that simmer for a little bit by making those moments irrelevant because you're now doing new speeches literally the day after, maybe hours after.
Stealing your own headlines?
Yes. So let that simmer for a little bit. And on that front, actually, we know the vice president is going to come here to Wisconsin.
Yeah, so he's expected in Plover tomorrow. So that's central Wisconsin. That's near Stevens Point.
They've targeted this area before.
Oh, yeah.
The president in the election was doing events. What's the airport there? Is it just north of Wausau?
I want to
Like
say
Merrill?
that airport was the site of both Kamala Harris and J.D. Vance on the same day one time during the campaign.
Turn and burn.
Just like walking past each other. Actually, I remember that. They were there on the same day. Anyway, he's going to be in Plover tomorrow, and that is Congressman Van Orden's district. His district clips that Stevens Point area there.
Wait, I thought he was from La Crosse.
No, but that's still...
It goes all the way out there.
Yep. So because of that, and he's in a tight race, so they want to make sure they're trying to reinforce that re-election run. So looks like the VP will be there tomorrow.
Sorry, what else it does is because it's so close in terms of borders for the districts, you can clip that northern Wisconsin district as well, being vacated by Tom Tiffany. Congressman Tiffany is running for governor here in Wisconsin. So you get some of that media market in there as well.
And the National Democratic Party, there are 2 districts that they're targeting in Wisconsin that they think they can flip. And one of them is Van Orden's. And the other one is south, is the Bryan Style district there, right along the border.
It's interesting, that district, that would be Wisconsin's first congressional. I know it better because that's my district.
Right.
The Van Orden district has flip-flopped.
Right?
Yes. You had, was it Ron Kind was in there for a million years, right?
Yep.
And then it went to Van Orden in very close races, could flip back. That one is more flippable, and we know that because it's flipped in recent history. Every year they talk about Wisconsin's first congressional. Well, there's one we can win. There's one we can win.
It's a fascinating district.
But they haven't yet.
Right.
And right now, I think one of the only candidates running is the guy who's tried to flip it how many times? The Iron Stash guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that will be one to watch, but one seems more flippable than the other, and that's the one that's actually flipped in recent history.
Right.
9:22 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
America's band, the Beach Boys, celebrate 250 years of the USA. Live, the Beach Boys. August 16th at the Bank 5-9 main stage of the Wisconsin State Fair. Get tickets now at wistatefair.com. Celebrate 250 years with America's original, the Beach Boys. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular.
At Abbey Home, our mission statement is making lives easier. Let us make your life easier by custom designing the bathroom to fit your needs so you can stay in your home longer. We will make your shower system safe but stylish by taking out your old tub, and you'll be able to walk right into your new shower. We'll add grab bars, a stationary seat, and glass doors that'll make your new bathroom a stylish success. Right now, get a free shower door with all bathrooms and payments as low as $98 a month. If somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big bucks on top brands like Bradenton Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradenton Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Yours brings you modern Scandinavian design recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In-stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases, and it's free. Stop in today and save now during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
It was a who's who. You weren't anybody if you were nobody if you weren't at this event Tuesday night.
Okay.
I'm being serious, though. There are a lot of people at it. Big event downtown. Held at the Bradley Symphony Center, home of the MSO, the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. Kicking off the community campaign for the United Performing Arts Fund, UPAF as it's known. This is a group that supports more than a dozen a dozen performing arts groups in the Milwaukee area, making the city bigger, better, classier, livelier, all of those things. And this year's community campaign, we do this every year, to raise funds for the arts, co-chaired by...
Please join me in welcoming Vince Vitrano to the stage.
Standing ovation, a roaring crowd as Vince walked up onto the stage. I thought you gave a great speech.
I didn't hear any roaring.
No, it was a nice reception. I thought
thank
you gave a good speech. I thought it was very charming. I thought actually you made a great point to explain why the arts are important and essential to a city beyond if you're just interested in going and seeing a show. That idea of like, oh, well, you know what? I'm not really into opera. That's okay because it helps the overall city class up a little bit, look really good, look more professional. And I thought this was a great point you made. Corporations use that as a selling point when working with other possible leaders, possible employees.
Corporate leaders don't just show them office space. They show them a region with major universities, with strong neighborhoods, with great schools. They show them the lake. The lake is undefeated. Like, it's a beautiful spot. And they show them a city where you can see world-class dance on a Tuesday. You can see the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra. On a weekend night, you can see a world premiere play on a Friday, world-class ballet and opera. The arts in Milwaukee are a magnet for our biggest and most important companies.
I thought that was a great comment. That made sense.
Well, I appreciate that. I think you do raise an interesting point that I wanted to make sure that we mentioned is, look, not everybody's going to go to a show. So, okay, well, what else is appealing about this? And it's an economic driver. I studied,
of course,
also
right.
in the speech a couple of real stories. One, a recent Marquette University grad who is from the St. Louis area, but is a performer, does a lot of community theater, wants to break in as an art critic, and she stayed here instead of going back to from whence she came. Right? We talk about brain gain.
Yep.
She decided to stay here instead of moving back home and pursue a career. Another gentleman I met recently who is the general manager over at Milwaukee Repertory Theater. Guy came here from Pittsburgh for the job. So we're gaining people and doing that brain gain thing that we talk about so much because of the arts.
So you are the co-chair.
Okay.
And you were
noted.
You and Cecilia from Milwaukee Brewers were announced, and that was pretty cool. So I did ask Anne-Marie, so she runs UPAF. I did ask her, like, okay, so why'd you go after Vince? All right, so one of your co-chairs is Vince Vitrano. Why'd you pick Vince?
Everyone knows Vince. If Vince points people to UPAF, people are going to follow Vince because they trust Vince, and he's just such an asset to this city.
So seriously, why'd you pick Vince? Yeah. All right, so am I right?
Good. Well done.
So
well
then
played.
you also introduced me to Tim. And Tim's former co-chair, and I did ask him, like, okay, so is Vince gonna work out? You've done this before.
He's got stories, and I think that's Vince's strength. Is just tell those stories. They resonate. They bring emotion out of people, and that also helps them bring out their pocketbooks, I think.
So I was getting a little frustrated because no one was having fun with my little game here. I kept trying to find someone who would like bag on you a little bit.
Yeah, we couldn't find anybody else, or judges would have accepted that.
So I did ask Tim. I'm like, all right, you gotta what's some critique that you could share, and this is the best I could get.
Last time I saw Vince might have been at a golf outing. I didn't see him golf. Maybe he's not a good golfer. I don't know. But for what I know, he could be a great golfer. So, sorry, you're not going to hit anything bad out of me.
Come on.
I talked to Tim after. He's on the UPAF board still.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, that's not, you were too nice. Eric says he can't use anything you told him.
Doesn't help me do what I want to do. Well, good luck. Congratulations.
Thank you for that.
$9.5 million.
UPAF.org if you're interested in learning more about how you can contribute.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises, and staying ahead of the curve no matter what Congress throws your way. So before the Big Beautiful Bill takes a bite out of your hard-earned savings, let's make sure your plan is designed to help prepare for uncertainty. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. That's TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping build retirement confidence right here in Wisconsin.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts. If you can't handle the noise, just stay home.
Rollins bounces off the defense of Zion, drives inside, lays it in with a foul. Ryan Rollins just keeps coming at you.
The Bucks face off against the Cavaliers at Fiserv Forum.
Ryan Rollins looking like a Harlem Globetrotter.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump delivering the State of the Union address last night.
Members of Congress and my fellow Americans, our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
This morning, the challenge is to make the message of economic prosperity and military force stick when it comes to Iran, the president said.
We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon.
A Ukrainian delegation will meet with the president's envoys tomorrow during another round of trilateral talks between the U.S., Ukraine, and Russia. The woman suing Meta and YouTube, saying that the apps are addictive and harmful, takes the stand today in her Los Angeles trial. In Hollywood, Warner Brothers Discovery says Paramount has upped its offer, setting the stage for a possible bidding war with Netflix. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:33.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Wauwatosa and West Dallas did agree now to merge their fire departments. Both common councils approving a 10-year contract to combine their resources. They will call it Milwaukee Metro Fire Rescue. Fire officials from both cities say no cuts are expected from the merger. The service set to begin in joint force in April. Study last year found the merger could save both cities about $7 million.
Metal detectors are coming to Kenosha's high schools. All 6 will get metal detectors after a policy approved by the school board. It comes after incidents at Bradford High School, one of which involved a student who brought a gun to school. Residents say the safety measures are long overdue. The district will spend more than $450,000 to purchase 18 metal detectors.
Vice President J.D. Vance will be visiting Wisconsin tomorrow. The vice president planning a stop in Plover up near Stevens Point. He wants to tour a manufacturing facility there, part of the congressional district represented by Republican Congressman Derek Van Orden. National Democrats have said it's one of 2 Republican-held districts in Wisconsin they're working hard to flip this fall.
Conversion of the 100 East building in downtown Milwaukee from offices to apartments is set to begin later this year.
The lone caveat is that the city's Common Council must first approve extra public funds for the project. The Department of City Development says higher construction costs have ballooned the project's price tag to more than $186 million.
There have been cost increases that have increased the size of the development gap since the initial project review.
The City Zoning Committee advanced a plan to give the project $16.5 million from property tax revenue connected to the project, $2 million more than previously agreed to in July. Completion is now expected sometime in 2028. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A Wisconsin college is launching a new artificial intelligence program. Concordia University's Master of Science in AI is designed to benefit professionals in the workforce. Professor of Computer Science Michael Littman telling Wisconsin's Midday News.
We are likely first to do it the way we're doing it, where we're building it from the ground up, we're including the ethical stuff in it, and we're making it project-based, so we're preparing the students to go into the workforce and learn, rather than just being the guy who knows a bunch about AI at the coffee shop. You know, we want them to go out and be able to be productive in the workforce.
The program is offered fully online.
News about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything is... It's been a long day.
Everything is
up.
The Dow Jones Industrial at 49,221. That's up 46 points. S&P 500 is up 31 to 69.21. And the NASDAQ at 23,074. That's up 210 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
The roads are also funny, looking good, actually.
They're hilarious.
Roads looking really good. No real issues there. Even the construction near the stadium is fairly smooth at the moment.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Quiet weather here, mostly sunny. High of 29 degrees tonight, low down to 17. And for Thursday, high temperature of 39. Friday, mostly sunny, windy, and mild. Friday's high 54 degrees, 33 the high on Saturday with a chance of light snow in the afternoon or evening hours, and on Sunday, partly cloudy with a high of 29. Milwaukee right now at 23.
Get ready for a big savings haul. Fleet Farm's having another bucket sale. Just pick up a 5-gallon bucket for $3.99 anytime this Monday through Sunday and save 15% on any qualifying items that fit inside. Need paint supplies? New power tools? If you can fit them, you can get them for 15% off. So make your bucket list and head into Fleet Farm's bucket sale, February 23rd through March 1st. And check out all the deals in our weekly ad at fleetfarm.com. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Our homes ask a lot of our windows and doors, right? We have volatile weather. It's back and forth. Got to be ready for anything year-round. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, that's why they're so focused on quality and durability in everything that they do. Pella doesn't want you to make compromise when it comes to being comfortable in your home. So right now, here's the deal they're offering. 0% interest on your financing for up to 4 years. The right windows, right doors can make a meaningful difference in how your home feels, its comfort, its efficiency, overall style. And with Pella, you know you're getting expert recommendations. Those are designed around the home that you have, your needs, and the way you want to live. They guide you every step of the way, helping choose the right options for your home, your style, and your budget. And with 0% interest on your financing for up to 4 years, plus a 10-year limited warranty, it's a decision you will feel good about long after your windows and doors are installed. Certain restrictions do apply, and this offer ends at the end of this month, so you got to move. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian, screaming Sicilian, more.
Screaming Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life.
At Access Legal, we stand up for people worn down by work.
Workers' comp is our sole focus, and our team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Axis Legal for a risk-free consultation. Search AXIS Legal today.
Half of American parents cannot afford diapers. Hi, this is WTMJ's Kristen Bry. This spring, WTMJ and the Milwaukee Diaper Mission are teaming up to change that. Join me for WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies, where we will raise funds for Milwaukee Diaper Mission. Register to bowl with us on March 7th at Village Bowl in Menominee Falls. Registration is now open. Go to WTMJCares.com to sign up. Act quickly, teams will fill up fast. It's WTMJ Cares Bowling for Babies to help the Milwaukee Diaper Mission.
9:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Story from Marquette University. Journal Sentinel has this. Marquette announced that Chris Duffy would serve as commencement speaker this spring. Who is Chris Duffy, you might wonder? Well, Chris Duffy is an artificial intelligence expert. He's from the area, an alum, grew up in Milwaukee, works on AI product and strategy at Adobe. Named to Ad Age's Tech Power List, he's also a speaker at leadership conferences, business events, et cetera, et cetera. So why are we bringing this up to you now? Well, because there's been some pretty significant pushback from the student body over this selection.
They don't want to hear from him?
According to the paper, students panning the pick. Some saw it as a less than inspiring choice that conflicts with the Jesuit mission of Marquette. Others citing AI's negative effects on the environment and the job market that they will soon be entering, saying that this guy will be doing more harm as they enter the workforce than good as an AI expert.
I don't know. We've talked about this before. Do you remember your commencement speaker?
I don't. I thought I did. I think it was like a CEO of Walgreens or a CFO from Walgreens or something.
Okay. So very often, as much attention as we get, are these memorable speeches or presentations? Some are. Maybe it's a famous person, or maybe it's a message that really resonated with you. I can't remember some of mine run together at St. Norbert because I worked for the media services, and I would work on the commencement day also. Yeah, so there were I heard a number of commencement speakers, and it's hard for me to remember which one was mine, but there were a couple that were interesting. I think we had a top executive from American Airlines, or one of the big airlines. I thought that person offered some interesting perspective, things that stuck with me. So, okay.
Oh, well, then that's a good speech. Anything that sticks would be good, right?
Lessons to use and learn. I'm curious as to why the students, I understand there are opposing views on AI and its impact on the environment and the world that we're living in, but why you wouldn't want to hear from a guy who comes from your ranks. He once walked where you walk. He's now out there doing this in the tech world. Like, you don't want to hear from him? Maybe you don't like the future he's helping design, but don't you want to hear what he's up to? Isn't that like, what didn't we just have the story? What did we say in the news? Concordia University, they've got a master's degree in AI.
Yeah. And Whitewater doing something like that, too.
This is here. Get on board. You don't have to like it or even necessarily employ it in your daily life. Those are decisions up to you. But, like, to pretend it's not happening and to not want to hear the messaging, that doesn't make sense to me.
Asked about the negative reaction, Marquette said in a statement, it stood by the selection committee's choice. Artificial intelligence is becoming a prevalent part of society and discourse, the statement read from the university. Chris Duffy's leadership in the ethical use and development of emerging technologies aligns with Marquette's Catholic Jesuit mission.
And I would suggest, if you haven't learned in college, that what you need to do is listen to voices, most importantly, probably those that don't necessarily align with your worldview. That's how you learn and change. And maybe you don't move off your position, but reach and hear from a diversity of voices for those who disagree with this path. This is an important message. Hear what he has to say.
Well, I agree with what you're saying, but it's obviously showing what we believe to be the case, that there is a growing unease of artificial intelligence and what the data centers and AI and all of that seem to be doing and eventually going to be doing. There's definitely some folks that are uncomfortable with what this is becoming. So
I certainly don't discount that. I'm not telling you which way to think on it. Just, you got to hear other voices. Otherwise, all right, we'll get you Kermit the Frog then. Good.
But you
Go
don't
ahead.
remember that, though.
Okay, fine. We'll call Kermit the Frog or Big Bird or somebody else because I guess that's what you want, instead of actually to challenge your brain. 9:44 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Ever wonder what it takes to feel truly wealthy and financially comfortable? Schwab asked Americans that question, and most said at least $2 million. But here's the thing, your number might be different. And that makes sense because your dreams, travel, retirement, and the legacy you want to leave are unique to you. That's why you need advice that's just as personal. The team at Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen and help you build a plan that fits your life. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Life's like a movie. Write your own ending. Keep believing. Keep pretending. You've all done just what you set out to do. And you're just getting started.
That's real, right? That's from a Kermit the Frog commencement address.
Yes, it is.
Kermit the Frog here. You're the best. Everything's great. Good luck. Your future is in front of you. Good. Okay, that's what you want. Fine. Go ahead. Watch it on. Skip it and watch it on YouTube.
You would have loved Kermit being the speaker.
I have no problem with it. Just like, well, I'm bent out of shape. Someone might say something that makes me uncomfortable. Vince Vitrano here for USA Insulation. Even if your furnace is in tip-top shape, you don't want the thing running the whole time, all winter long. Vince Vitrano, again, for USA Insulation. If your home is poorly insulated, or maybe you're living in an older home that wasn't hardly insulated at all, your furnace is probably working too hard. Let's get Brent and my team from USA Insulation out to your place and see whether it's bat insulation or the blow-in or USA's proprietary injection foam that fills up all your walls from bottom to top, forming a full thermal barrier for the entire house. Jeff also told me he is seeing discounts of somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,600 to $4,000 on project that he's doing right here in southeast Wisconsin because of the government rebates and the credits that are out there and available to you. And Jeff and his team will do the work for you and discount the cost of your project up front. Get started now. Tell them Vinny sent you. USAinsulation.net.
Hey, John Mercure here for Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin, quite simply the best in the business. You got a shoulder that's not feeling great. Maybe it's an ankle or a knee. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin and their top-tier doctors can get you feeling how you deserve to feel. My wife, Michelle, had a back issue. OHOW put her in a great place. She's on the mend. She's feeling better. She's doing all the things that she wants to do. Start at the website, ohow.com, ohow.com. Request an appointment. Start your journey to feeling better with the best. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
You ever have a slow shower drain where the water rises until you're standing in a murky, bubbly, hairy...
I got it, and thank you for painting that vivid picture of the ankle soup.
Yeah, up to your ankles, and you're tempted to pour all that goop that smells like industrial citrus down the drain.
Which could wreck your pipes. Why not call Capital instead? For only $49, Capital will send out a pro and get your drain flowing.
Stop living with a clog and start living with the flow. Call Capital today.
Call CapitalCares.com.
Happening today.
Landmark Credit Union Live. That's the new music venue, the concert venue near Fiserv Forum downtown. It opens today. First night tonight. It's the community preview night. So it looks like they got like $10 tickets, and you can see the venue, the new structure, and you can also hear a little bit of music. They got a variety of different bands playing. They got some dance, they got some pop, they got some country all playing tonight. Just to kind of give you a little taste of what Landmark Credit Union Live is going to be.
4,000 capacity venue, right? And I'm told that it's not seating; it's more like, it's all what you would consider floor, right?
Yeah. So if I'm showing you the layout there. So yeah, there's a giant general admission area.
Okay.
There is some seating, but yeah, there's a huge space seat that's right in front of the stage.
Right. Built exactly for that whole floor area where you would stand for a show.
Right.
And then some seating as well. I guess tonight is like we just want to open the doors and get people in.
Community preview.
And they're booking acts out already for this year.
Yes, correct.
So that is downtown today. Should mention this as long as we're on that. The Steve Martin and Martin Short were supposed to do a show at Miller High Life Theater on Friday, and it was just announced it's postponed following a death in Martin Short's family. First, the logistics on that. Pabst Theater Group says the show will be rescheduled. They'll honor the tickets that you have for the February 27th show. So if you had a ticket for that show, they'll let you know when it's been rescheduled, and they will honor the ticket that you already have. But on the larger story, multiple outlets reporting Martin Short's eldest daughter, Catherine Hartley Short, she was just 42 years old, and she died. TMZ and others reporting that she died by suicide. So on top of the fact of losing a child, to lose your child in that way, just an absolute tragedy in his family. I met Martin Short one time. He was here for a show. That's when we were doing Laugh It Up Milwaukee with the JCC, the big fundraiser. I will say this for him, I was just, everyone's like, what was he like? What was he like? Who
Seems
knows
like a great fella.
Like. I thought he was, what fascinated me most about him, was his preparation for the show. Some comics come in, come out, maybe I see him a little bit before the show. We get to talk about how things are going to go, but like he wanted to be there super early for the show. He had some tech that was involved in it, like a screen and some projections and things. He wanted to make sure that everybody was there, all on the same page. Like he was super committed to what he was about to do that day. And you look at a guy like a Martin Short and say, you're at the point in your career that if you wanted to just coast on through,
right,
that nobody would blame you for it. You could probably get away with it, but he put everything he had into that show that night.
You know what that reminds me of? So obviously he works very closely with and has a close relationship with Steve Martin. And Tina Fey from SNL and from all those shows that she's done and written and all that, she was on a podcast and she said that she saw Steve Martin do a Letterman show years ago. And like the next day she said something to him. She said, "Hey, I saw you on Letterman. You were fantastic." And she said his response was, "Yeah, you got to kill it every night." And she's like, yeah, like it dawned on her then. Like that's when she was still young and learning and all that. But she was like, wow, he's right. Like that if you want to be a comedian and a star, you have to kill it every night. You can never fake it. You can never phone it in. And I wonder if that's where Martin Short was coming from. Like, hey, nope, got to kill it every night.
Super lines up with what I saw in terms of his preparation. So if you're a fan of Martin Short, keep him in your thoughts as he and his family are dealing with an unspeakable tragedy. His oldest daughter, Catherine, dead at the age of 42. 9:52 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
For over 30 years, CertaPro Painters has been part of countless memories. Every wall tells a story, and we've been proud to help write them. We are more than just your local painters, with care, craftsmanship, and certainty. From the first brushstroke to the final smile, our promise is simple. Your home, beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Tri-County Contracting. It's time to love your home again. Yeah, I know you might like your house, sure, but do you love it? Are you happy with it? And would you even know where to start when you knew that you had to make some changes to it? Well, that's where Tri-County Contracting can help you. Can help you love your home again. Utilizing their showroom in New Berlin, getting a design consultant, real picture renderings on the website, using your house and changing some of the features so you can see what it would look like. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Love your home again with Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Borrow, don't buy. Did you know that your public library system has a variety of things you can borrow? Besides books, check out board games, cake pans, ukuleles, museum passes, video games, even electrical testing kits. Whether it's mastering a new skill, trying a new hobby, or learning a new language, your library loves to share resources with you. Access thousands of on-demand video courses with your library card. Courses can be accessed anytime, anywhere. Find out what your Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Jefferson County libraries have to offer. Learn more at getyourlibrarycard.org.
Point taken with Scafidi and Bry.
The invitation went out to Attorney General Pam Bondi. She acted about as unprofessionally as anyone could ever act in front of a House committee.
Over something incredibly serious when we were talking about the Epstein files, but the fact that was what a lot of the questions were about, and her being that defiant, like, I'm not sure she won herself any fans yesterday.
No, I don't like her persona. I don't like her attitude.
Weekdays from 10 to noon on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Just about to turn things over to Kristen Bryan and Steve Scafidi on Point Taken. Point of order, I feel like I need to point this out since you make fun of me all the time. I was right on two things today, Eric.
Now, hold on. Are you sure? I wouldn't say that was necessarily right. I mean, you may have been closer to right.
Well, I was more right than not right on one of them. The other thing you made fun of me for was the fact that the Brewers, you know, it had been bothering me that we hadn't won a game in spring training. Yeah. I know it doesn't count, but the Brewers finally got their win, so that's good. You don't have to hear me talk about that anymore. The other thing we talked about was with the president in the State of the Union, he invited the U.S. men's hockey team.
Yeah, you were right about
Team USA, and you said, well, he's not going to have the whole team.
I thought maybe it'd be just like the Hughes brothers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and they'd just be in one of the seats, and they'd be there.
And they'd stand up.
Yeah,
A couple of guys are there.
I didn't think the whole team was going to come out
the whole team.
matching sweaters with their medals.
Came in through the doors. Place went bananas. So there was that. Right about that. And then the other thing, you more than me were interested in the name. As we told you in the news, the Wauwatosa and West Allis fire departments did approve that merger that we've been talking about for the last several months. So they're going to enter into a 10-year agreement that starts in April, and they're going to merge their two operations, and they're going to become one firehouse. And you did ask a question, what are they going to call it?
What's it going to be named? Because it needs to have a name. It has to have a brand associated with it, on the trucks, on the shirts, on the hats, all of that stuff.
There were some really funny and some interesting and some that
West Allis, we thought maybe.
Sense names for the new combined fire and rescue service. And I said, you're going to be disappointed. I was right about that, as you are. I said it was going to be way more boring than anything you were talking about.
You said like West Suburban
I said it was either
going
to be Suburban Fire or West Suburban Fire.
So the name is?
We're not that far off. Moving forward with the creation of the Joint Fire Department, this in a news release from West Allis and Wauwatosa this morning, which will be named Milwaukee Metro Fire Rescue. See, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, and it doesn't matter.
Actually, you made an interesting theory. You wondered if maybe it's because if you had it too specific to Tosa and to Stellis, could you not bring in another community? And by doing Milwaukee Metro, does that open the door for expansion?
For a Hales Corners, for a West Milwaukee, for others who maybe want to join. And then you don't have to get new T-shirts.
Join me in welcoming Vince Vitrano to the stage.
All right, so one of your co-chairs is Vince Vitrano. Why'd you pick Vince?
Everyone knows Vince. If Vince points people to UPAF, people are going to follow Vince because they trust Vince, and he's just such an asset to this city.
So seriously, why'd you pick Vince?
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide